Many fine books have been written from prison. Oh, that Joker. Well, Carol, here's what I think about the situation. I think you should leave that show and come hang out over here. So I went to bed. I was going to lay down, get some sleep. I was really tired. And then nothing happened. So I'm back to awake again. Can't get no connection. Can't get through. Where are you? Let me see here. Oh, that's not a true. Oh my gosh. Hello, Carol, darling.
Hello.
How are you?
I don't know. How are you?
I'm not at all sure.
What's wrong?
Nothing that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Still running systems diagnostics.
All right.
I went over to my friend's house a few years ago, Carol.
Yeah.
And it was bedtime for the little kids. They're elementary school age. The little girl comes out of the bathroom. She's just had her shower. She's got her towel around her. And she just freezes in the hallway and is just standing there. And her mama says, "Honey, are you okay?" And she looks at her mama and she goes, "Loading."
Loading.
Files.
Weird little robot girl, huh?
Yes,
I didn't know you could get them wet.
Yes. See, that was good. Nice quick wit. That's why you're here. Entertain me. Frolic before me. I'm tired.
It's late. It's 1:00 in the morning.
It is late. 3 hours from now is my normal wake up time.
Hello, Michael.
Hello, Michael. Good to see you. We're just kind of hanging out. There's no agenda. I'm not selling anything tonight. I'm not shilling. I don't want to talk about comics. For fuck's sake. How do you draw them all day and then talk about them all night? I can't do it. I'm not that one-dimensional.
I'm so sorry.
So anyway, I was drawing my comic book.
What's a comic book?
Oh my God. So yeah, a strange thing happened. I got an actual letter from Indiegogo to have a telephone call meeting with a senior account representative tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
So Anthony and I are both going to be on this call.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, "What the fuck you shadow banned me?"
Yeah.
I can't wait to ask that question and hear the answer.
Yeah, I'm curious too.
And it wasn't like it was spam because dude left a phone number.
Very interesting.
So yeah, I'm interested.
What time is that phone call?
Between 4 and 5 p.m. tomorrow.
Are you going to stream it?
You know what? No, I'm not, because I'm not sure what to expect here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We might, who knows, man? All kinds of information might come out that would be doxing of me or Anthony or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, me personally, I've pretty much doxed myself. I was live streaming the tornado damage house, and there's my mailbox with my name and the address.
Yeah, it's kind of pointless for me now because I've been doxxed
Oh,
multiple times by the same offender.
oh, yes, Michael. It would be an interesting stream. Now I am going to record it, so if anything interesting comes up, like if they say, "Well, we shadow banned you because you're too sexy for us," okay, that's one thing. But if they say we shadow banned you because you don't endorse the foo-foo people, then that's going to be definitely some fodder to put out there into the
The
ether.
foo-foo.
The foo-foo stoppo, the woke stoppo. Sig Heil. Sig Heil. It's Bam. Michael, what are you doing up at 1:00 in the morning, sir?
Yeah, I've been doxxed already. Loads of people. But I'm not sure a lot of them have put two and two together, so not everybody realizes that it was me that was being doxxed.
Right on.
But
I understood that sentence. I understood that. Speaking of which, you have got to send Anthony the name under which you wish to do business and receive attribution for your work for the campaign page.
I thought we were going to go with Carol Lee.
Well, you got to put it in writing and send it to him so he can.
Why do I have to do it? You just tell him.
You expect me to remember something 5 minutes from now?
Well, yeah.
That's not going to happen. I'm old. I have dementia. He's not tired. Yeah, Michael, I went to bed, but nothing happened. You know, I just woke back up.
I took a 5-hour nap.
Like, look, man, I wasn't going to go in and disturb Tacy because I was up past her bedtime, right? And she's got to get up early in the morning. So I thought I'll just go crash on the couch. We got a guest room, but my couch is so comfy in the living room, right? So I go out there and I flip on the TV and I turn on Drakenafel, which is a naval historian that I watch here on YouTube. And the Poochie comes up and lays down with me, and it's just all cuddly sweet and everything. And I start to nod off, and I'm like, oh, how pleasant. And then nothing happened. I just continued to be awake. Oh, God, and the futility of it all struck me, Carol.
Sorry. There, I just sent Anthony the note.
There. You raised her for. Yeah, I hate it when that happens. I do too, Michael, and it doesn't happen to me often. Like, I'm one of those weird people. I can go to bed early and wake up at 4:00 in the morning and just bounce out of bed, you know.
That's disgusting.
I know, right? But I conditioned myself to do it over the decades that I've been occupying this earth. Shut up.
His first pet was a dinosaur egg, you guys.
It was. I named it Fluffy, but that was a lie because he was a reptile.
He raised it all by himself.
So I named him Slimy. You're Slimy.
Slimy.
I don't guess he would really be slimy, though, would he? If it's a reptile, it would be.
Well, it depends on where he lived. I mean, he could be slimy.
Like, here, scaly skin like sandpaper.
I like the Spitty-sauruses. I don't know their name. The spitty ones from Jurassic Park, the ones that spit.
Dilophosaurus.
Yeah, whatever. They got the little flare on their neck, and then they spit. They're my favorite.
Yeah, you know, I would actually have one of those.
I would have an army of them.
I mean, that'd be a good pet to have in the yard. Like,
Spitty-saurus.
It would to you because, you know, he's cool with you. But then, you know, like, the Jehovah's Witness come knock on the door. Stick him, Spot. To him.
What was the in the Munsters? Was that the name of the thing that lived under the steps?
Spot. Yeah, Spot was their dragon.
What?
I'm up to something. What's up, Dillard?
Dillard. Who's Dillard?
Dillard.
Dillard. Yeah.
Did I misname my video?
I don't know.
I don't either. Giving me a complex now.
It's called He's Up to Something.
Yeah.
But you use the quotation mark instead of the comma.
I did. I don't need your critique, okay?
I don't care. Use whatever you want to use.
I mean, my pronouns are still he and him. Dillard, come on in
And
and
pronouns.
share some wisdom with us.
Yeah, Dillard. Come on up.
Or don't. Because it's my favorite line from
My favorite line is a circle.
Oh, Carol. My favorite line from an Ace Ventura movie was, if I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer. Because what else are you going to do?
Yeah. I don't like Jim Carrey.
I don't either as a person, but I did like Ace Ventura.
Well, all of his characters were the same.
Well,
even when he's acting as a human person or like a normal person.
He did a good job in The Mask.
I didn't watch it.
But I really only enjoyed Ace Ventura, and that was a good movie.
He ruined himself with me on that show where he was Fire Marshal Bill.
Oh, in Living Color.
Yeah, because then after that, all his characters were Fire Marshal Bill in some weird, gross way.
Well, yeah, because that's his thing. You know?
I know, but it got annoying and old real quick.
It was the human cartoon.
It annoyed me, so he's not my favorite. And I didn't like the Grinch.
Oh shit! You couldn't tell my son nothing about no Grinch. He loved that movie, and he loved The Mask.
Yeah, my family loves the Grinch. I'm like, no, it's Jim Carrey who ruins it. Just like anything that Tim Burton and Johnny Depp do together, they ruin it.
Tell us how you really feel, Carol.
And I hate Pinocchio.
Which version?
The Disney.
The one where he goes into space?
The original Disney Pinocchio. I hate it.
I don't think I ever watched that one. I do remember seeing the one where he went into space, though.
Pinocchio goes to space?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes, and he got eaten by a space whale. Absolutely happened.
Well, I didn't watch it because I didn't like the cartoon.
I would look it up on YouTube, but I can't spell Pinocchio. And I'm not going to try.
No, we don't need to because I don't like Pinocchio.
All right, I don't like him either, little fucker. Wooden bastard.
He turned into a donkey. I fucking hate that. Was the part that ruined it. It scared me when I was a little kid. I hated it.
I remember that.
It's terrifying.
Did the goldfish eat the donkey parts away?
I don't like it.
I don't remember.
Like, I just went to the Disney exhibit at the Franklin Institute. That's why I was in Philly. And I just totally skipped over the Pinocchio part.
There's a Disney exhibit at the Franklin Institute.
Yeah, they were showing off all the early work, concept art, early sketches.
Cool.
All the early stuff. It was really cool.
Yeah, Pinocchio's a liar, Michael says. And he's right. He's right. That freaking nose got long.
God damn Pinocchio.
There's too many jokes there. I'm not going to tell any of them.
Yeah. Heard them all.
Yeah. Ben Franklin. It's quite a thing.
Yeah.
Of all the founding fathers, he's my favorite.
Yeah, he wasn't there. But,
Yeah. You didn't see him when you were there?
well, his statue was there. It was
Okay. Well, there you go.
quite large.
I'm going to clean my screen. It's like somebody sits there and smokes.
How dare they?
So I was on Amy's show earlier, Amy Good. And
I don't know that person.
she was having a nicotine fit. Because Max and I were both on there and they were smoking. She said, I'm so jealous that you guys get to smoke in your home. I said, what, do you live with your dad? She said, no, it's my house. Well, then you can smoke if you want to. But anyway, We told her, go take a smoke break. We'll do your show for you. And she did. I don't think I've ever done that before.
No?
Actually, that's not true. I did it recently. I was on Finn's one morning and he asked me to hold down his show while he went to go pee. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I get stuck alone on a panel quite often over at Affinities.
Yeah.
But you suck. But you know, the thing is I will sit there in complete silence. I do not care. I mean, if the chat is active, I will respond. But if they're not, neither am I.
Yeah, I'm giving serious thought to just leaving this stream up all night. I'm gonna do a chair stream.
Chair stream.
I mean, hell, it's Rex's most successful stream.
Well, Vic does the snore streams a lot.
That's true. That's true. Max fell out on me the other morning. I said, Max, he said, he woke right up. And he answered a question in his sleep that somebody asked him.
Vic will talk in his sleep sometimes.
Okay, what are we looking at, Dillard?
What?
Oh, the best Jim Carrey bit. You're trying to get me struck, Dillard. You can come in here and share it if you want to. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
I have to go to work tomorrow.
You don't want to grace us with your presence. I understand that.
Whatever, Dillard.
Dillard.
What
time you got to work in the morning?
8.
Oh. I mean, I pretty much work for myself, so I get up whenever I want to. But I always feel like if I wake up and the sunlight is shining, I feel like I've wasted the day. Hey, Rosetta.
Well,
good morning.
I wake up. Well, I got to get up around 6 to make sure the kid gets up and gets on the bus.
No, you don't.
Well, no, I do, because if I don't, she won't go.
Well, you know how you break that habit. It's like if you miss the bus in the morning, kid, and you're getting yourself up, I'm taking your door off the hinges.
Yeah, I've done that.
Forever. Carol, what kind of stream does Finity do? Michael?
He likes to talk about pop culture stuff. Loves the time travel thing.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
See, it's funny, Doc, what you said, because you feel like you've wasted the day if you get up and the sun is up. I feel like I've wasted my night of energy and usefulness if I go to bed and the sun hasn't risen yet.
I mean, I understand that, but I cannot in any way relate to that.
I can't, no matter how much I do.
Back when I was working in medicine, I worked the 3-11 show, so I get it.
I've done day jobs, night jobs. I've done early morning photography stuff with sun-up hikes and stuff like that, and I function best in the middle of the night. I just do.
Well, it may very well be the kind of stream you like. Now, as far as pop culture goes, there are certain important things to know. One of which is what is truly Michael saying good morning to you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Truly the most important movie of all time, of course, is Casablanca. So make sure you file that away. Greatest movie ever. The greatest work of fiction ever written, of course, is The Lord of the Rings by Tolkien. So file that away. And that's really all the pop culture.
Are you drunk?
No, I don't even drink, damn it. Although
drunk, he's tongue-tied and old.
I will be drinking on my launch this Friday over on Dark Gifts channel. I think that's where we're doing it. And,
am I supposed to be there?
Yes, you are.
What time?
You're Team Pariah.
I am.
I think we're going to start about 5 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. I don't work that day.
It'll go for quite a while, so.
Yeah, I'll get there when I get there.
And you are welcome, Doc, to come promote on my channel anytime during this.
Well, thank you very much. Now, Carol.
Yes.
Your responsibilities when you show up is, you have to tell people the true story about how you begged to be a part of this campaign.
Oh.
You were so blown away by the concept that you just had to be a part of it.
I begged and pleaded. I was on my knees. Please, God, please let me
Don't say you were on your knees. The men will take that way out of context.
Oh, I can handle these.
And that's absolutely fine. Take it out of context. Nobody cares. Carol, what is the name of it channel Michael wants to know? Wait, hold on. Before you answer that question,
yeah,
Michael, if she gives you the name of that stream and you go over there and you leave here, you're going to hurt me and my fifis.
Fuck your fifis. I mean,
I will put the link down in the chat for his stream that's going on right now.
There you go. It's going on right now, Michael.
I left that panel to come here. Don't tell him.
Now you face a moral dilemma, Michael. What will you do? What will you do?
Well, the women are here, so logic would say stay here. I mean,
I'm working topless. I'm just saying.
I'm in bed. That's why the camera's off, so I'll just leave it at that.
I'm coloring.
Hello, James Hayes, my friend. Always a pleasure.
Hello, James Hayes.
Hello, James.
And listen, this is just kind of a low-key thing where I'm sitting here quietly working on a piece of art.
Yeah, I'm working on something. I think it's considered art. I'm not sure yet.
Wondering why I'm not asleep.
Sleep is for the weak. Mm-hmm.
Hello, Mike. Somebody somewhere is up to something. I'm just saying. Strange things were happening all around us.
I'm not up to anything.
Well, that's a nice way of announcing that I'm on the stream. I mean,
there's a skeeter on the Peter knock him off. What is that wind blowing sound? Is that somebody's air?
I have to have an air filter going. I've been sick.
Oh, okay.
I tried to aim it away, but it can only.
No, it doesn't. It's not. There's no problem. I'm just wondering if I had a bad connection on the headphones.
No, that's my fault. I'm sorry.
Yes, Mike. I am up late, and this is a problem.
Oh no.
A lynx.
I'm just waiting for somebody to message me and tell me how his day went.
Michael wants to know, is that a bobcat in your avatar? No.
Yes, it is. It's actually the one I photographed on Wildlife Loop in Custer State Park on Christmas Eve.
Now, Jerry Clower will tell you that a lynx is a souped-up bobcat.
Yeah, bobcat is one of the classifications of lynx. So they've got a bunch of small cat breeds. So
Again,
yeah.
This is told from the cypress swamps of Yazoo City, Mississippi. We got somebody in the back here.
Who is it?
I'm not sure.
Hey, Doc.
Hey, Mike.
I'm not like up on my screen. I did back off a bit.
Okay.
You're looking very dapper in your fleece, sir. Can I assume from that it's chilly where you're at?
Yes, it's past 10 o'clock here in SoCal, and we're like 45 degrees outside.
Oh, that's freezing for SoCal.
Yeah.
Now, when you say SoCal, are you like San Diego?
A little northern of that. I'm like basically right on the border between LA County and Orange County.
Okay.
Is it raining?
It's been raining, yeah. Today we kind of had a bit of it was raining for the last
Inside voice.
2 days, and then the last like 2 or 3 days, and then we had a bit of a respite today, and it's going to be raining for the next 3 days.
Tomorrow.
Mike.
I'm trying to figure out if I've met Mike before.
Eagle Rider, we have probably crossed paths before on RJ's channel.
Probably. I'm really, really bad with names. It's nothing against you if I struggle with it.
I host a show called The Mic Stand, where I go over a lot of niche topics.
Soft voices.
I just do crazy bullshit. I mean,
it's been a while, Eagle Rider. That's probably why you don't remember.
So, Mike, it's hot here. It's hot.
hot in Georgia.
It's hot in Georgia right now.
It's fucking here.
I'm working topless.
Doc, nobody wants to know about you being half naked. Please, please, we don't want to know this.
Listen, this is streaming to my OnlyFans, okay? So don't.
Ew.
You have fans? Wait, I mean,
You better be wearing clothes on Friday.
Well, I mean, it's going to depend, Carol. You know, I got to do what they pay me to do. Just,
They ain't
oh,
paying you nothing.
wait. Did he just say he's a whore?
I think so.
Because he just said he's going to do whatever he's paid to do.
whores
That's a
are
whore.
free. Whores are free.
No, that's a hoe.
I'm a professional. Like,
No.
I'm a
She's
professional.
a lady of the
No. Hoes are free. Whores get paid.
He's just an escort.
I don't even know where this conversation's going right now. Here's what I
Well,
do.
it sounds like it's either people are a bit tired right now, or drunk, or both, probably.
There's
I
I am wide awake and I've
completely
my
sober.
life, so I just fucked up.
there's no drinking going on here.
I thought about getting drunk today, but I was like, oh, I gotta work tomorrow.
It's a quiet, mellow, enjoyable, relaxing, quiet conversation.
What? Why?
Because I said so.
But
Fuck's sake.
But wait, Doc, you let me up here and you're trying to say it's relaxing? What the fuck?
Yeah, hey, look, man, you came in. I just let you in.
I know. I'm just giving you shit.
Now, the important
Thank you, James.
is this. I'm at 120 signups for Pariah right now.
I signed up.
Thank you, Carol. I need
I'm not gonna buy it, but I signed up.
I would, but I couldn't find my sign in for Indiegogo on this computer and I can't remember it. So
Well, James Hayes is helping out with the link here, and I thank you for that, James.
I highlighted it.
Writer, you might want to thank him too, because I think he also put your link up as well.
Yes, he did. James is always good about sharing links. He's one of the fastest wrenches in the West. He's in the East. James, you're up late, my friend. James is a fellow Southerner,
James is
which means
always throwing links. The only person I think throws more links constantly would be Frog G.
yeah, I met James Hayes when I first came to the community a year and a half ago, and he's always been a true Southern gentleman. So thank you for that as always. So anyway, there I was, minding my own business. I can't sleep either.
Well, it's like just after 10 for me, so I'm sure it's
I'll be right back, guys.
running up for you, Doc. It must be running up on 1:30 in the morning.
It is certainly something like that. I don't really do math. It's not my strong suit. Just saying.
As you can tell, it's one of my strong suits.
I hate math.
So anyway, as I was saying, there was minding my own business. Listen.
I'm listening.
The chances of my son ever seeing this are zero. So I'm gonna bitch at you now, son. If you're listening, the campaign launch is Friday. When a week ago I said I need to come up to the studio and do a narrated voiceover for the new video today. That meant today. Well, now it meant yesterday because yesterday was Sunday. Not, oh, sorry, Dad, I forgot I'm having dinner with my girlfriend. You having dinner all fucking day? I need to record 30 seconds of narration. I can mix it myself. Not happy with you, boy.
Ooh.
Come out
You
here.
are grounded.
Every time he releases a new song, I'm a good dad. I faithfully share it out on the streams that I go on. He's picked up followers and subscribers out of this lovely community that we have here. And you mean to tell me you couldn't spare a few minutes for your dad?
Apparently not.
Carol, kick them out while they're young.
I tried. She came back. I gotta get new windows. These are too easy to break into. Well, sorry. In 5 months, I won't be here. I don't care. She can do whatever she wants. She'll be with her dad.
One of my best friends.
Carol, you won't be there. What do you mean? Are you moving out of your house or
hold on, Mike?
something more?
Mike, that was the middle of a sentence. I'm telling a story here. It's a true story too. You'll like this one. My friend said, well, my friends, plural, they were talking. And she said, oh, we have a boy and a girl, and that was just the right number. And my friend didn't miss a beat. She has Carol's sense of humor. She said, yeah, 2 kids was enough for me, but I had 3.
That poor third kid.
Yeah. What were you saying, Mike?
He wants to know where I'm going to be in 5 months.
I already know the answer to that question, but
well, I was just wondering because the way she said, I wasn't sure if she was just talking simply about like she was moving out of her house, or if it was something more serious.
No, she's stepping out in front of a bus 5 months from now.
I am going to Australia.
That's what she says. But
I will be back. But
listen,
for the summer, Carol, I will be there.
Carol.
Carol,
listen to me.
I'm listening.
I have friends at the State Department. One phone call and your visa's revoked.
I haven't even gotten the visa yet.
Then you won't get it. I'll make one phone call.
Your mouth. Why? Why are you gonna deny me my love?
You cannot deny you. Oh my God.
And it's not who you think it is.
Now I'm gonna go step out in front of a bus for sure. You are not going to go work for Liam.
No.
All right. I'm just saying.
No.
Put my foot down.
Not Liam.
I'll put my flipper down, damn it.
You know who it is, but it's not who you think.
Well, I know who it is, but it's not who you think it is.
Well, everyone thinks it's the one, but it's not.
So it's the other one. If it's not one thing, it's another.
It's the other one. That's all I can say publicly.
Sorry about that. I had to help my mom out for a few minutes or something.
But no, I will be returning from Australia because the visa is, I'll either get the 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. So they're going to kick me out eventually. So I'll have to come back.
Unless they lock you up.
What the fuck? What the fuck do we have you here for? Get out, right?
Get the fuck out of our country. We have enough problems.
Yeah, Eagle Rider, one of the other things that might throw you off, the last time you probably saw me, I had a lot more hair on the top of my head, too. That's probably one of the other things that may have thrown you off why you may not.
Well, that and I've just been dealing with so much shit the last couple of years. My whole life's been kind of a blur.
Mike, I think it's safe to say that whether you have your full fro or your bald, we would all know you instantly. You're a very distinct looking gentleman.
Like I said, when I said, I swear I thought I met you, and I was just asking to verify. That's nothing against anybody. I just have memory issues from seizure damage. It's nothing against anybody.
From sneezing damage.
Well, I think we crossed paths before on RJ's.
Okay.
So
sneezing. I once sneezed so hard I bounced my head off my own steering wheel.
Seizures, Doc, you freak.
I said sneezing.
Hail Caesar.
I didn't have a seizure.
Sneezer.
Oh, Caesar.
Hun, they're weird people. They're just weird people.
You think that?
Okay.
You think that's something?
I know it's something.
When I was still working, right?
I know it's something.
I got on disability.
Why would you denigrate me that way? Go ahead.
When I was still working, right? At the time I was working in a gas station in a city, miles from my home here. And I'm on my way home. I'm working the graveyard shift at a gas station, and coming home that morning, I'm on the bus, and I'm kind of like like this, just drowsing off. So I rest my head on the handle in front of me, on the seat in front of me, right? And the bus all of a sudden comes to a sudden stop. My bonk, and I had a big welt like right there.
That's unpleasant. That's what that is, and it's also a rude awakening. But I've got one for you, Mike. This one's absolutely true. Now, everybody's heard of sleepwalking. No big deal. But I discovered it's possible to fall asleep while walking. All right. So I'm in Corps School, which is your basic medical training in the military after you graduate boot camp. And I'm married, so I live off base. And the closest apartment was several miles away. So I had to get up at an ungodly early hour to walk. And I kept being drowsy while I walked, and I would stumble. So I lived
down the
in fear. So shut up. So I lived in fear that I was going to step off the curb and get hit by one of those big transit buses, because this is in San Diego. So one day it happened. I fell sound asleep while walking. Wham! Something got me, Mike. My briefcase went flying. I landed flat on my back, and I screamed because I just knew it was all over with. Big flat-faced buses had gotten me. But that is not what happened. It turns out I walked full speed into a steel lamppost.
Wow. Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing, but that's funny.
I did it right in front of the main gate. And the gate guards over there were just howling with laughter. Now I've got to cross the street and go over there because that's what I'm doing, you know? So I pick myself up the best I can. And I walk across the street. And the gate guard said, "Dude, what happened?" I said, "Well, it was me or him. And he wasn't going to move, and I wasn't going to move." What do you think happened, man? I fell asleep while I was walking. I didn't know you could do that.
Well, apparently you're young.
Well, if you walk long enough and or you're tired enough, it's possible. I know I've come close a few. I've had a few times when I've walked some distances where it's like I'm like struggling.
I can handle weird dozing off. Usually for me, that's what I'm in the car and route trying to do my photography, honestly. But I can handle that. I can handle sleepwalking. It's the weird stuff. It's the weird ass shit that I do in my sleep. It's the times I wake up and everything's inverted and my pajamas are inside out and everything else. And I'm sitting there going, what the fuck did I do when I was sleeping? That's what gets to me.
I can understand that. I really can. You know, when you wake up and your feet are hanging from the curtain rods, it's like, what the fuck?
The one that got me was, okay, I sleep in U pillows or a bunch of pillows because I have spine damage. So I'm surrounded on all sides with pillows and blankets. I can't exactly rotate or move much. I went to bed and I had this blanket under me. I had the sheet over me. I had nice pajamas on. I was tucked in nice. I had everything. I had my head up next to my husband, everything. And I woke up an hour later and my head was next to the wall where my feet should be. The pillow was upside down. The sheet was under me. The blanket was over me. My pajamas were inside out. And I was twisted almost in a pretzel.
Maybe you were
You're welcome. Shut up! Smart ass.
Well played, sir. Well played. So, Mike,
Oh my God.
I'm going to give you the numbers, and you solve for X. Hold on a second here. Let's see.
What?
I've never sleepwalked. I've experienced sleep paralysis one time in my life. I never walked. I know, right?
The sleep paralysis. That's awful. I get it all the time.
That's terrifying because you feel like you're never going to move again.
So, I'm young. I'm in the military. I'm a newlywed. So that adds up to what?
I'm going to bite my tongue.
No sleep till Brooklyn.
Very little sleep is what that adds up to. Now I'm going to point this out as well. I married a woman who could not cook. And you can only eat spaghetti noodles with ketchup on it a week.
Ew. You mean zero?
So I gave her $100. And I said, go to the supermarket and find something. I don't care if it's cereal, sandwich meat, and bread. I don't care. So she said, okay. I come home, and she has discovered stovetop stuffing. Just add hot water. Look, it comes in all these different flavors.
So easy, even I can screw it up, right?
So
Isn't that the saying?
yeah. So my conclusion was, it's shake and bake, and I helped. My conclusion was,
Kind of interesting how you bring that up because that's one of RJ's little things.
Okay,
it was either learn how to cook or hang myself off the second floor balcony where we lived.
Can I comment on that? Because there's actually a weird irony to that. Is because I've figured something out over the years. I can't do pre-made shit. I can't follow directions on things because of the way my brain learns, the kinesthetic stuff. I can come up with intricate, detailed recipes and make wonderful gourmet meals. I can't follow the directions on a box of mac and cheese.
I can understand that. I also got into a debate with an honest-to-God chef who said you can't cook eggs properly in a microwave. And I said to him, I want you to name a way to make eggs, and I will make it in my microwave right in front of you. You want an omelet? You want sunny side up? You want poached, scrambled, fried, dried, laid to the side? I can do them all in my microwave. Bring it. And so he took me up on it. He's going to come over here and I'm going to show him.
Okay.
Now, it was either hang myself or learn how to cook. Yeah, the rail wasn't strong enough because I'm still here, obviously. So I learned how to cook myself. And then I discovered this was a clever ploy on her part to never really cook. You see how that works, Carol?
Yeah, women are evil, sadistic bitches.
No, not all of them.
Sorry, I walked away. I heard my
No. Wait. We are all levels of evil and sadistic. It just varies how much. Everybody has the evil in them.
As I remember correctly, I think back in the 90s it was, where there was a particular artist who actually took pride in being a B word and actually sang a song about it.
Yes.
Yep.
Remember that?
I
believe her name was Meredith Brooks by any chance?
Gonna tell you a true love story. In high school,
What?
I sat in the front
Oh,
seat.
thank God. You hear the kitty too? I thought it was mine.
No, that was my cat climbing all over me, trying to push me down so I'd cuddle her in bed and go to sleep.
Well, mine go up in the ceiling and sometimes they get stuck and I can't tell where
I'm
the
trying to tell a love story here, Carol.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So in high school, I sit in the very front seat, so it's because it's closest to the door. And I've got an after-school job, so I usually fly out the door, get in my car, and leave before the traffic jam. Behind me in the very back seat, and then across from her, sat these two cute girls. And I had the biggest crush on one of them. And one day, that girl, the cute one, comes up and slides me a note and goes back to the back. And it says, would you like to go out? And I was like, yes, but it wasn't from her. It was from her friend who was cute too. So I'm like, well, fuck. I'm young. I'm horny, of course. So I say yes. And I ask her friend out. And we go out a few times. We end up getting married. I joined the Navy. And then I go from one horrible woman to another one for many years. And then I end up meeting this girl that I had the crush on in the first place. And now she's sleeping in the other room.
Oh,
30 years later.
how cute.
Yes.
Wait.
George,
One girl was ended up sleeping with. So you had two girls. One you liked, another one who liked you. You went out with the one who liked you
Because he was looking for a woman that was willing. I mean,
strange things were happening all around us. What's up, George?
Well,
hey, George.
The biggest
Hello,
crush I had on a girl was in a compactor.
Yes, I thank you for
Oh,
that.
Lord, George.
George, how you doing this evening, sir?
Please, George, it's too late for your puns.
What? What?
How
What are you
are
talking
you?
about?
How
It's past 12 o'clock. It's McDonald's breakfast this season.
It is not past 12 o'clock and fuck McDonald's. Ew.
It's the only place you will get uncontaminated meat now.
Ew. That's crap. Mm-mm.
Well, actually,
McDonald's is garbage.
Let's rephrase that. It'll be less contaminated than the livestock that they're going to be chopping up for market.
This is why I'm glad I'm a woods girl who likes to hunt.
Oh, have you noticed that the population of the wild animals has declined in the last couple of weeks?
It ain't doing that over here.
I mean, there's literally.
Yeah, I mean, there's like Yetis have declined by 100%. Dinosaurs have declined by 100%. It's all because of that explosion in Ohio.
It took out the dinosaurs?
Yeah.
All of them?
Yeah, all of them.
Oh, I don't want to live in this world anymore.
I'm just going to point out that that's far from me and in a direction where most of the water and air is going the other direction. It ain't affecting the nature here.
So you still have dinosaurs.
I caught his smart ass anyways, but I'm saying that's not affecting the animals here. They're crazy.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Inside voices, people.
We have, at this point, they are talking about opening up hunting seasons in the freaking national parks here because they're getting such an overflow of elk and deer and even freaking coyotes and stuff that they can't control them anymore.
Yeah, but what about the in the United States? There's an infestation of wild hogs. That's it's hog season every day of the year.
Yes, that is.
Yes, and it's also pheasant season every day because they're invasive. By the way, the hogs are not an issue here.
Where I live, there's a lot of hogs.
You got bacon at 24 at 24. You want some bacon? Just go outside.
Bacon is delicious.
I know.
And there are lots of pigs. So the devil went down to Georgia, is what I'm saying. I'm going to show you guys a picture.
I was just going to say, we haven't had many of them show up here. When they do show up, either the bison gore them or the mountain lions eat them, and they don't last long.
Well, I have an interesting piece of trivia for you guys that you might be interested in.
Well, I have some too.
Do you know what happened 60 years ago this past Wednesday?
No, what?
On February 22nd, 1963, the Flintstones episode The Blessed Event premiered.
Pebbles.
Do you know what happened on that show, on that episode?
Yes, Pebbles was born.
Pebbles?
Anybody want to take a guess? Or?
Yeah. Doc gave you an answer. Did you hear?
Oh. What was that, Doc?
Pebbles was born.
Correct. Pebbles Flintstone turned 60 years old.
Do we see the picture?
And you know what? Pebbles Flintstone was older than Jesus.
Do you see the picture in front of you?
Yes.
Okay. So, do you know what that's a picture of?
Is that a lot of cocaine?
That is raw, uncut cocaine.
And which one of the guys is you?
This is the USS Cromlin, a frigate, which intercepted this particular gang of ne'er-do-wells. And a living room set was built out of the raw, uncut bales of cocaine. The largest drug bust in history
at that time. But you know what you can do with all that cocaine? You can actually make it into a paste and then put it into molds and actually make classic toys out of them, like Transformers and all that stuff. Put them in bare molds, and you can sell them because the movies came out.
So
I knew he was going to get to a cocaine bear joke. I knew it was in that.
The moral to the story is, if you really want to see some cocaine, join the Navy.
My brother was in the Navy. He never told me no cocaine stories.
Is some cocaine.
Actually,
That's because
I
they don't talk about it.
was temporarily recruited by the Navy when I was in high school, until of course they found out I had a club foot, and because I scored pretty. They said I scored pretty high on the ASVAB test. So
Couldn't you just hide it with a prosthetic toes?
Prosthetic toes.
Sometimes he says stuff and I don't even know how to respond to it.
I just don't respond to it, whether I do or not. I'm looking for a photo here.
There are times I wonder if George is on drugs or not. I really do, because he says things that I'm like, how the fuck do you get to that point?
Oh yeah. I'm on ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, zinc, vitamin D, selenium. The basics.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what makes you this crazy.
So this one will be right up Rose's alley.
Uh-oh, what did I do? I didn't do it. I'm innocent. That's all I can say.
Lies.
Aww,
The guilty person would say.
So this is out at our family farm, and that's my stepfather there, and he's an avid deer hunter. We're out there just chilling, and this doe just walks up and says, "Hey man, weren't you on that ship with all the cocaine?"
Okay, so I have a story that actually goes along with the deer just coming right up on you, but this was a few years ago. Those who've been around me know that I started the photography and stuff because I came and stayed here for a few months and helped take care of when my mom got injured, and then they got me the cameras as a gift for helping. So that's where everything came from. Well, it was during that time I was staying here. I'm out there shoveling everything while their dad's off with mom at physical therapy so they can get back into the driveway and function. And it's cold, it's wet, it's snowy. I'm shoveling, my head's bent down, and all of a sudden I feel a cold, wet nose on my back. This freaking buck that lives in town here that would come over and hang out in the yard when we were out there saw me shoveling and came up and put its nose on my back and started nuzzling me while I was shoveling.
Oh boy.
I jumped so hard, I'm surprised I didn't cut myself on his freaking antlers. And then I jump and he just walks over in front of me. He looks like this and starts trying to nuzzle my arm. I'm like, come on, don't get scared of me. It's like, oh my God.
I had a similar story.
So are you saying that the buck was attracted to you then?
I don't know what the hell. Animals like me. I don't know why.
No. The buck stopped with her.
Oh,
God, George. My dad officially decided after that he wasn't going to. No, it didn't nuzzle your back. It was sniffing your butt. So now he called every deer butt sniffers for the rest of his life.
Oh.
Yes, Ornery, I know I'm supposed to be sleeping and cuddling you, right? She's like, yes.
Hey, you know how when you're looking for a particular item, like a picture or a file, and you're scrolling through?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one thing to not be able to find it. It's another thing to not remember what the hell you were looking for in the first place. So it's like, will I know it when I see it? What was I even?
You okay there, Eagle Rider?
Sorry, that tickled my funny bone. Because I know that feeling so well with my memory issues. I know that feeling so well with my memory issues. I just tickled my funny bone when he said that.
I can't find the picture I was looking for because I don't remember which one I was looking for. I don't.
I'm not trying to laugh at you. It's just because I've been there myself. It's so funny to me.
It's horrifying that this happens.
Yeah, my memory's been that screwed up since I can remember. So welcome to the club.
So this is This is a painting I did last year
You did not.
for a friend of mine.
Lies, all types of lies.
It's unusual to have, your friends commission you because, they've known you for a while, so they're used to seeing you.
Doc, I'll be right back.
Okay. And the interesting thing is he's the one that took the photograph, and it's a great photo of the building on the left is the First Baptist Church, and this is at the main intersection downtown. And I pulled it back out recently because he went back and took another photo. All three of those trees are gone now. The tornado hit them.
Oh, no.
So this is like a living record of those beautiful trees.
Pour one out for the trees.
I get those moments with a lot of my photography because we had the Durate show a couple of years ago. 2.5, almost 3 years now. And it took out over 80% of the trees in that side of the state. So all these places I did all this photography work are completely different.
The way things change.
Mm-hmm.
It's always worth remembering.
Is it, though?
It is.
Is it?
It is.
Okay. Whatever.
Like, I will always remember how I felt the first time I saw her.
Who's this?
This is Raquel Welch. God rest her soul.
Oh, yeah. A friend of mine, when he was little, like 5 years old, she had come over to his house.
Oh, cool.
Told me the story about it.
Sweet, sweet Raquel.
Sweet, sweet Raquel.
I'm still looking for the thing that I can't remember what I was looking for.
Well, maybe you already found it.
I'm not sure that I did because it didn't seem to satisfy the itch.
You're not satisfied. My God.
It didn't satisfy the
I've never heard a guy say that around me before. I'm sorry.
There's that. That's not it.
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah,
Doc's getting too good at ignoring some of my comments.
Blah,
this is
blah,
what
blah, blah.
I found what I was looking for, Carol.
God damn it. Sorry. That was me.
Blah, 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 blah.
The wrong color. I picked the wrong color.
This was the one time that my son was, he's a professional wrestler. This is the one time he was on WWE.
That's your son?
Oh, in the middle?
I swear we all thought the same thing at once because I'm like, damn, his son's got better red hair than I do.
Now, I don't remember which female UFC fighter this is, but she's one of the famous ones. My son is the one on the right. They had to pretend to be cops arresting her.
Oh, okay.
So he got to be on national television on the WWE.
I liked my answer better that your son's got better red hair than I do.
Can I get a autograph?
The irony of that, of course, is that he's bolder than I am. I mean, he's the one on the right. Look at him. And even has that cursed red beard.
Hey, wait. My husband's got the orangish red beard, so.
We don't know where that came from. I'm pretty sure it was the woman that...
Well, there was a video that explained where orange beards came from really well.
I'm pretty sure that it's from the guy she was sleeping with.
He's trying not to get me to make this comment. I guarantee you if he knows what I'm getting at. There was actually a video that Hayner did explaining where red hair and red beards came from in people, where he went through the history of the intermingling that really made it common with the Vikings and the Celts, and explained that if you have any form of red hair, you're the product of rape.
Okay, so she was I served my country, and she stayed behind and served the fleet.
Becky Lynch is the girl.
Yeah, I just saw that. Thank you, James Hayes.
Oh, you guys talking WWE now?
I don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Always knows everything.
We are nothing without the chat.
There's no reason to be without the chat. Yes, that was my son on the right. Yes. You didn't see my WWE photo there, Mike.
I remember I had stepped away.
He
So.
walked away. He got bored.
Well, no, I had to take care of some personal business.
Meaning he got bored.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
I hope if he was getting some, it didn't take that little time. I'm just saying.
I repeat, ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Ain't no sunshine.
I dedicate this
when
one
she's gone.
to George Peter Gatsis.
What?
A pun worthy of GPT. I mean GPG, excuse me.
Jibby.
Ate my last piece of cheese yesterday. Today it's raining. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. See, get it, Mike? Cheese.
Oh, okay.
Ain't no
I
sunshine.
kind of thought you were talking about the song for a moment.
Well,
Ain't
that's
no sunshine when
that's
she's
the
gone.
pun, sir. That is the pun.
Yeah.
Hang with me. Hang with me.
No.
So I got sent this one today, and it made my day, and it may become my new avatar. I don't know yet. You know, you have to be politically sensitive these days.
Well, I'm fucked.
Hey, what do you call a lineup of dudes picking up a mozzarella cheese?
George Peter Gatsis?
No, a cheesy pickup line.
If you're gonna fight like you're the third monkey on the ramp to Noah's Ark. And brother, it's starting to rain. Come on now, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
It's profound, Carol. If you don't change that, cause you physical harm.
I didn't even see it. That's not fair.
There you go.
Fourth between Yoko Ono and Yoko Ono.
Here's a couple. I bought a blind friend a cheese grater for his birthday. He said it was the most violent book he ever read. Oh, and by the way, always wash your hands after putting Rogaine on your head.
I repeat, puns are the lowest form of comedy.
You don't like my spork? How about my fork?
Hey, did you hear about the cheese explosion factory in France?
Nope.
There was a lot of debris everywhere.
Oh god.
It went le boom.
Le boom. Le poof.
Oh, boy. Oh, I'm taking my time, baby. You come.
All right. Bonus points, Mike. Bonus points, chat. If you can figure out what's wrong with this cover.
Everything.
No, there's legit.
I don't know.
That's Kiss.
Yes.
Let's see. Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons. I forgot the other guys.
Eric Carr is at the top. Ace Frehley's at the bottom.
Yeah, Ace. Yeah, that's it.
But on the album, it ain't Ace.
Nope.
It's Vinnie Vincent.
Yep.
Oh, how was I supposed to know?
And Vinnie Vincent is on the cover with his Pharaoh eye makeup. This is a Photoshop. Le poof.
Well, I never was into Kiss, so I know very little about them.
That's absolutely forgivable. I'm going to let you get away with that.
What?
I liked the music, and then Gene opened his mouth over the last couple of years and proved that he was a douche. So fuck him.
Never listen to anything any celebrity says ever.
Yeah, well,
Ever.
Le douche.
we really need to have a whole movement for shut the fuck up and dance monkeys to all the celebrities.
I disavow that comment. I don't call people monkeys. Just saying. Carol, get back to work. Color you monkey.
You beat me all the time with the monkey. I'm coloring right now, but
Are you spanking the monkey, Doc? Or are you spanking the
Back
monkey?
in the 80s, where Howard Cosell got in trouble for coloring
Yes, that's
somebody a monkey.
exactly right.
Because a lot of people think everything has to be racially related. Fuck's sakes, can't people just grow a pair and not be whiny douche canoes?
No.
Magic 8 Ball says doesn't look likely.
I mean, if I didn't want to deafen you, I could actually do a perfect monkey cry.
Share my screen.
Why not?
No, I'm not going to do it, and you can't make me.
Blah, blah, blah.
My screen right now.
You know, at least you guys can't see the game I'm playing while I pretend to listen to you. I mean,
You can't yell at me anymore, Doc. I don't have nothing to color for you.
I'm sorry, what?
What? I said you cannot yell at me anymore. I've done my work for you.
Oh, you didn't want the paid work. I see.
Oh, no. Oh, wait, what?
I see
That
how
wasn't paid work?
I see how that.
Boy. While I'm taking my time, baby, you come along.
No, there's no
Don't
singing.
be ever after.
There's no singing. There's no singing on my show.
No. Oh no, I'm melting. I'm melting.
That hurt my soul.
Somebody
you have a soul?
I was playing Spider. Yes, I have a soul.
Let's go back to this whole theory of you having a soul. I want to hear more about this.
Everyone
I
has.
want to hear more about when Carol getting paid.
Well, Carol, it's like this. We're gonna put in a stretch goal for color.
So are you saying that it's up to the people?
And if the campaign
Carol,
Sorry, Carol, you're screwed. I mean,
God damn
if
it.
the campaign reaches that goal, then being the consummate artist that I am, I'm going to color my book.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay you to Xerox it.
Yeah.
Doc, are you being a douche?
No. Next question.
Wait until you put those tapestries under the black light and you see what I hid in there.
I already saw it.
Lord.
Not nice.
Carol, how many penises?
Oh, it's too many.
She wrote in the moon, Doc plays ball like a girl.
Doc plays with balls like a girl. Wait, what? I mean,
See, you just had
You're
to-
going to have to buy the tapestries to find out.
That's right.
So Carol can get paid.
I can't buy shit. I'm sorry. My
Well,
life is broke. I don't got nothing.
well, you got friends, don't you?
Yeah, and I'm busy trying to get enough money out of them to pay for things to help my mom keep her house. So
Well, I don't need that much money, so I need a couple of backers.
I'm sorry.
Just shill his book on your channel.
I already told him he's welcome to come on and show
a
during the campaign.
Subscribers, get them to fucking pay because Carol's hungry.
I already told him to come on and show during the campaign.
Carol's got to get to Australia.
1,600 subscribers, by the way. I broke 1,600 the other day.
Congratulations. You know, these cigarettes aren't going to buy themselves, Mike.
Beware, Mike. They're going to try to shake you down.
Not gonna
Well, the thing is, I'm on disability, unfortunately, so I don't have a lot of extra
Oh my
cash to
God,
be-
Doc! These people, what are we doing with them?
I said, why are you people even here?
Thanks a lot, Carol. I mean, it's not like I've been your friend for years and supported you. Oh, wait. You're broke now because you're helping take care of your mom after your dad died? Fuck
Oh
you.
my
Get out of my way, right?
Carol.
The one thing I do try to do is I do,
in Philadelphia.
for example, I do like and share everything that I participate in. So
Mike,
Philadelphia and stuff.
Mike.
I at least help get the word out. But that's as much as I can really do.
No, it's not, Mike. No, it's not, Mike. Let me. I'm going to give you some great financial advice. Number one, back my book.
Fucking hell.
Number 2,
Back my book.
move to a state where it doesn't cost that much to live.
Well, I would do that. Actually, would do that, Doc, if I actually was making my own money and wasn't dependent on the government. Okay, I'm sorry.
Wait.
And I am trying to find ways to invest to where
Well, no.
I can get on my own, where I could get on my own income. But
hear me out.
That takes time.
Hear me out. Yes, it does. But hear me out. In California, what you pay for rent there, you could buy a large house for here in Georgia.
I am aware. Okay, Doc, I'm aware that California has a high cost of living. I'm fully aware of that. I
know you are.
I actually looked into moving out
I actually
a few years ago.
Want to ask you, Mike, how much does it cost to function over in Cali where you are?
Well, for me, my situation is a little bit different because I'm not necessarily paying market value per se or rent. What you would typically pay for rent. But I am paying rent, okay, and I am covering portions. But but basically, I have to make that money last for the whole month.
Yes.
So,
I was just curious because I do like to compare. This is the weird nerd side of me. I like to compare cost of living in situations in different states.
So do I. Yeah. So, like, for example, I was talking to a friend of mine. He recently moved from Phoenix, Arizona to Charleston. So he went from one expensive place to another. Charleston is very expensive. And he just bought a house, same size as my house. He paid 4 times as much for his as I'm paying for mine.
How much did you pay for yours, Doc?
$120.
So that's about actually what I paid for my house.
And the thing is, like my hometown, Hilton Head, South Carolina, if you buy a house there, it's about $429 a square foot. It's kind of expensive. Same house here would cost you a fraction of that. So,
cost of living at my mom's place here has gone up a lot, and house costs have gone up a lot. But when her and Dad bought this house 10 years ago, it was a downtime for this little town. And so, yeah, they've got this really actually nice house. They built it out of high-end stuff and the old oak bomb boxes and stuff. It's a really solid house, and they got it for like $35,000, literally, because it's out in the boondocks in the middle of nowhere.
Well, now, back in 93, I bought a house that was, I think, just under 3,000 square feet. And I paid $20,000 for it. It was an old mill house, but it had hardwood floors. The beams, the studs in the walls were 4x4s that were hand hewn on the property, old property. They were petrified. They were so hard and strong. That house had bones, is what I'm telling you. So we did a little light remodeling on it, and I flipped it and made a fortune on it. That bought the next house, did the same thing, and then was able to pretty much buy this house outright. So, yeah.
I've been in my house for over 16 years now. My mom's been in this one, just hit her 10 years. So,
right.
And I'm technically the main person holding title in both houses. So,
right. Dillard says hello to Kate. Good morning, Kate. And hello, Mike. And Kate, I hope your back is feeling better. Yep, there it is. There it is. That's exactly how you make a fortune.
But I'm going to jet because I got to try to get some work done before I go to bed.
All right, Rose. Thanks for popping in.
Bye. Stay out of trouble, people. And remember, if you can't be good,
I'll
be good at it.
Slipping out, too. I'm going to do my usual Sunday thing of watching some classic Dark Shadows episodes. I just did pop in for a little bit to hang out and stuff since I saw you were on. So
Well,
thanks for having me, Doc.
Thanks for coming out.
Bye.
All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Later.
Thank God they all left.
Yes, Dylan, you can certainly join this conversation, sir. I did invite you earlier. No, I'm not ending. We're pretending it's not ending. Oh, yeah, that was Don't Speak, but no doubt.
What color is alcohol?
Yes, is the answer.
Okay.
I hear you, girl. I hear you.
What?
She was trying to catch Space.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on in, Carol. Kate, you're welcome. Dillard, you're welcome. Come on in. So, Dillard also lives in a high cost area.
Lamos.
And he doesn't mind the idea of moving, he says, but his wife just ain't having it. Michael's been where he's at for 30 years. What part of the country are you in, Michael? Or what part of the world? For all I know, you could be in, Calcutta.
He could be on the moon. We don't know.
The moon is flat.
The moon is made of cheese.
I forgot. I'm sorry. The earth is flat. The moon is made of cheese. I keep forgetting this shit. Dillard says, okay, let me put on some pants, take off this cock ring.
Please.
You do you, Dillard, baby. You do you. So the best quotes from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Hello, Kate, darling.
Hello, darling.
Hello, Kate.
Hey, girl.
Hi.
I'm sorry you're feeling bad, my friend. She injured her back by trying to yank up a 500-pound bag of dog food.
The catalyst was it began with the hurricane and me moving furniture and packing out my house full of water.
Yeah.
And then dragging all the furniture out to be taken to the dump. And I aggravated it by taking that 30 pounds of dog food out of my trunk and I had to stop.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yep. So I had to go in for
a few blocks from Central Park, right on.
Mm-hmm. So I had to go get outpatient surgery, and I'm kind of in a temporary back brace.
It's awful.
It is.
You know what will make you feel better?
Booze will make you feel better.
Booze.
Manticore flipping his hair for you.
Yeah, I know my flipper.
Where is our flipper?
Call
him Flipper. Flipper.
And he does it. He does it unconsciously. That's the beautiful part. And I told him about it.
I got him put on Dillard's gayness chart. I'm so mad about it.
He made Dillard's gayness chart.
He did. He thinks I set him up for it, but I really didn't. It just.
Yes, you did.
I really did not set him up for it. It was a coincidence that it happened.
Carol.
What?
Listen, there's no need to lie. We're all friends here.
I'm not lying. I admit when I set people up, and I did not set him up.
Back in the 70s, do you guys remember Aspergum?
Yes.
Yes.
I want some Aspergum. Okay, number one, it worked. Number two, that shit tasted so good. The orange Aspergum was amazing.
Amazing.
Hey, Michael. No, they gave me a naproxen, 500 milligrams, and 750 milligram muscle relaxer, which doesn't do shit. Sorry, that it doesn't do nothing.
No, you gotta ask for the Dilaudid. That's some good stuff.
I don't want any opiates. So I'm just like,
well, I can't take any Percocets or anything like that. So they gave me Dilaudid.
Yeah, I'm allergic to codeine and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, so because I'm allergic to it, they gave me the Dilaudid.
Gotcha. And I gotta watch they give me like a warning because of this naproxen can mess up my liver. It's like, okay.
What?
This trade.
You know what's in my fridge?
What's in your fridge?
A Dr. Pepper.
A quart of whipping cream.
Ooh, do you have the pudding?
I need you to tell me the ratio again so I can make this happen.
All right. Well, on the instant pudding thing, it's 2 cups of milk. Just change the 2 cups of milk to the 2 cups of the whipping cream.
Oh,
That's all you do. Change it out.
this is a thing that will happen in my life tomorrow.
It's so good.
Actually, I'm going to save it for the launch. What's
I
good
should
to
get some
dip
too.
in that? What's good to dip in that?
Well, my mom always makes it with my birthday cake, which is an angel food cake.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
So you can buy the angel food cake already made. It's
some kind of cookie. I need a cookie.
Banana.
Banana. Oh, vanilla wafers.
Yeah, that might be good.
Yeah, you can do that. You'd be
So-
crunching though.
You guys know what? You ever had banana jacks?
No.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah, Flipper was shot down in the Everglades, and I never knew the little sound he made was one of those chupacabra birds or whatever the fuck they're called. So banana jacks, you take, just 3/4 cup of flour, 1/4 cup of cornmeal, 1 egg, and then milk to the consistency you want. Chop up a banana, put it in there, and then you fry those up. And that makes banana jacks. I found out my wife had never had those. I'm like, how can you have lived in the South and not have had banana jacks? So I made them. And she kind of turned her nose up. I got up the next morning and they were gone. So rather than say, honey, you cooked something amazing, she waited till I was asleep.
Ooh, rated.
She went in and she scored all the banana jacks. All the banana jacks. They're really good, you guys.
How much did you make?
Oh,
Or how much did you eat? What? That's the question.
I only made 4 of them.
Okay.
Save the rest of the batter to lots of the batter's left over. So you can make corn fritters out of that same batter. You can make any kind of anything. Like I made some that were crab fritters with crab meat. Delicious.
Nice.
Yummy.
Now I've been searching for years, and I finally found the same recipe my great grandmother used to use for tea cakes. You guys ever had tea cakes?
Mm-hmm.
They're amazing. They're like crack. Thank you very much. I've tried to make them. I could never get it right. But then one day I was making my famous fritters because I'm famous for my fritters. Is what it is.
Okay. Famous
right
fritter
on.
man.
And I didn't have anything to put in the fritters, so I just added, some vanilla. I thought this would be good. This would be nice to have with coffee. And holy shit, it tasted just like my great grandmother's tea cakes. So now I know how to make them, but they're not baked like hers. Mine are fried.
Butterfried.
I want a funnel cake.
I like funnel cake.
Mm-hmm. I'm not craving it. And the fair, they announced that the fair's coming, but I don't go to the fair because I'm scared. For obvious reasons. No. I don't know if you guys heard. Our local news crew was covering a shooting, and the dude he's 19 years old, has a rap sheet.
Speak up just a little bit, Kate.
Okay, how's that? I'm eating the mic.
Much better.
Okay. So, back up. So, news crew went to a house to cover a story murder. And this guy had a rap sheet since he was 14 years old. He is now 19. And he shot a 20-year-old. And then the news crew pulled up to do a story. He comes out of the house, kills the reporter, and shoots the cameraman. He survived.
Oh, my God.
Holy crap.
When did this happen?
I think it was Saturday.
God, Florida man.
Oh, we're getting bad. It's like I don't like to post because I can't find anything to post on Twitter in the morning, because I'm not, I don't want to be downer, but it's like everywhere. shootings everywhere. It wasn't used to be like this.
That's Atlanta.
Yeah, because everybody's coming down from Florida everywhere to Florida and bringing all their crap with them. And then we've got so many teachers being busted for, that's being reported.
Dylan Lyons is named as the journalist killed while reporting the fatal shooting of a woman in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
The first news agency that pops up that has the story? The fucking BBC. That's awful, Kate. That's awful. That sounds like Atlanta on every Friday night, though, I'm just going to say.
Yeah. And then the camera guy actually did an interview from the hospital.
Golly.
Mm-hmm. And the reporter guy was only 24 years old.
Golly. So tell me that they shot and wasted this kid.
No. They took him into custody. Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm pro death penalty right there for just that kind of case.
Yes. Uh-huh. And then I posted on Twitter, Polk County Sheriff Grady, he don't play.
Oh,
He
I like
busted,
that.
yeah, he posted he busted 200 people in a trafficking ring here.
Yeah,
That's Eagle Rider and Carroll, that's near Walt Disney area.
Okay.
Just to give you an idea.
Dillard, you ain't got the cock ring off yet?
Jesus, Dillard.
Does he need some lube or something? I don't know. Sorry, Dillard.
I'm not going to ask you that question, Kate. I mean, just some
I
things,
can.
some things men don't ask each other. You need a little lube with that, Bob?
Oh, God.
I can, though.
Sounds like you're struggling in there. I got some KY out here for you.
I hope he didn't take the blue pill. There's going to be issues.
Oh, my God. Kate. Love me some Kate.
I'm going to get in trouble for being here.
Carol's my friend, too. I'm just saying.
You're just guilty by association, Carol.
I know, but it's going to get me in trouble. You don't even understand.
Oh, I'm sorry, Carol, but, I'm afraid that you're contractually obligated to be here.
I know, and that got me in trouble, too.
So, okay, there's a story there we'll talk about one day.
Whole fingers.
I ain't going there.
What?
I am not going there. I just brought up lube, dude. That's all I did.
So,
I mean, Doc really started with whipped cream and the fritters and ooh.
Oh, corn fritters, boy, howdy. That's some sexy shit there. My great grandmama's tea cakes.
It's sugar. It's sugar.
Sugar. Man, I was so tickled, man. KSSS was dropping the link to my campaign over on EVS's chat.
He did.
He did, and he dropped it like a good dozen times, and I got 3 signups out of that.
Cool.
Right on.
Ooh, a story earlier, they found a boat with 60 dead people. They think it was trafficking. Jeez, man.
Where, Michael?
It's a boat, so I'm thinking the water, Kate.
What, duh?
It could have been on land. I was just taking a guess.
It could be from the border, crossing over the river Rio Grande. I don't know.
It was in Lake Michigan, I think.
The Rio Grande is only 4 inches deep.
Never mind.
I don't know their weather. I know it floods over there.
I mean, in some places you can just walk across. In other places, it's a legit river. Just saying.
Well, that's near Juarez.
I was
Okay.
being insouciant.
What?
Yes, that's my word for the day.
Okay.
Let's don't be facetious, children. My math teacher used to say that all the time. Let's not be facetious. So I went and looked it up, and I wasn't being facetious. She just liked saying that word, and I said that to her. I got sent to the principal's office.
Okay, what about innuendos?
He said, why are you in my office? I said, because she said I was being facetious, but I wasn't. I was being insouciant. He excused himself, and I know he went and looked those words up. You forgot you should be online. You are online. Michael, I don't have a tight grasp on reality. You can't be saying shit like that to me.
When are we going live?
Strange things are happening all around us. Best line from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Go, Carol.
Oh, I don't know. Don't ask me to do movie quotes. I can't.
Kate. Oh, he says, that's much better. I forgot. It should be on. Thank you. Thank you. I thought I'd had another stroke. I was smelling toast.
Can I ask you a serious question, Doc? How many signups did you receive because you're shadow banned? Did you get your signups?
I'm at 120 signups right now, and that's 20 of them I got after I was shadow banned. So pick one. But listen, I was telling Carol earlier, I got an email from Indiegogo account manager, and we're going to have a conference call with them tomorrow between 4 and 5 p.m.
Interesting.
So first thing I'm going to ask is, why am I shadow banned, you freaking foo-foo child?
Maybe word it differently.
No, I don't think I will.
You're going to call him foo-foo?
I may want something worse than that.
Excuse
hey,
me.
boy, why did you shadow ban me?
Exactly. Why isn't my product being shadow banned? Can you please explain this process to me? I'm very interested.
Yeah, I thought I was here to fund a dream. That's what
I have many fans that follow me, and they want my product. Why?
That's right. I think that's what triggered it when I got over 100 signups.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it triggers something that gets an account person involved. I don't know. I mean, who am I? I don't know anything.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blur, 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah. God, this looks terrible.
What are you doing, Carol?
Coloring.
Share your screen.
No.
And your crayons.
Oh, no. we got a train. We've got a locomotive. Please stay on the tracks.
I can't. Yes. I don't know if I have permission to share this, and I don't. It's terrible.
Okay. All right. Just.
Well, I'm just saying, it's a hard piece to color.
Like two mosquitoes circling my head.
Shoot, I brought my bug light out here because I knew I was going to get ate up doing this covering of this launch. I'm hearing zap, zap, zap. It's like, yes, it works.
So, did you say it was weather that grounded them?
No, it was their power switch.
Oh.
For their T tanks.
Yeah.
3 minutes before liftoff, grounded.
They're putting people up, right?
Yeah, they had a full crew ready to go. T-minus 3 minutes. I was like, okay, it was beautiful here. Clear skies. I went live, did the whole thing.
That's so cool, Kate.
You get to see it from where you are?
Oh, yeah, I can open up my door.
That's awesome.
Kate, anytime something like
that. I've always wanted to see it.
You should call me and say, hey, jump onto my channel and watch, because I will.
I've always wanted to see one live. So,
well, I woke up in pain. It's like, wait a second, there's a launch tonight. Okay, we'll just stumble out there and just sit in the chair. I got my little clip-on thing for my phone and sit here, have a cigarette, and just stream and bullshit, get people some wrenches and stuff.
Yeah, no shit.
And I was like, and awesome. Then I tweeted it out that I was going live.
Launching out of Canaveral.
Like I said, I could literally open up my front door and just like, there it is. And it would have been like sunrise going up, like the sun.
Nice. I gotta see.
But no, of course.
Launch?
No, sir.
So when's it going to be rescheduled? Or they don't know.
I just asked that, Carol.
I didn't hear you because I don't listen when you talk.
Well, it's scrubbed. They're saying possibly another window is tomorrow, but for this power switch, because they have to go in and look at everything, test and double test and triple test. They have the tanks full, everything ready to go.
In my life, I'm telling you.
So better be safe than sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not the way you want to make the news.
No.
I don't want to call this anymore. I'm tired.
Yeah, I've heard they're building another SST.
God, these colors are terrible. I'm a terrible colorist.
Color in the lines.
I am coloring in the lines, but I've been given zero direction on this page, so I don't know what colors I'm supposed to be using.
All that matters is that you did a good job on my work.
Yes.
That's all that matters.
It's good enough, girl.
I did see your dark gift hit your glow in the dark bog.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
That looks nice. It's kind of scary. I wouldn't want to hang it up in my room and like have a nightmare and like, it's just glowing.
When my son was little, he wanted a mural because back then I was doing murals. Mm-hmm. So on the biggest wall in his bedroom, I did the Land Before Time movie poster. The whole wall, filled it up. He loved it. But then he wanted Batman and Robin. So I did Batman and Robin on a wall for him. Then he wanted the Hulk. So I did the Hulk busting through the wall. Yeah, we had to hang something over that because it gave him nightmares.
Poor kid.
How many dads do you know that'll put hundreds of hours into making beautiful murals for their kid just because their kid wants them?
Then he turns out grateful because he didn't give you credit for you teaching him to play the guitar.
And he didn't give you 30 seconds of his time so you could record that.
Yeah, I'm very upset with my son right now.
You should disown him.
No.
Cut you out of the wheel, kid. Just saying.
Just guilt trip him.
Just...
Next.
He has
reference picture.
He has his priorities wrong. Let me tell you a true story. My mother passed away in 2017. She had a stroke and she's up in Atlanta. And so my son is with me and we're headed up there. Now, originally she was at the hospital here and they flew her up. And, welcome, Dillard.
What up, Doc?
What's going on?
What's up, Dillard?
So we're driving up.
Who's driving up?
My son is with me. We're headed up to Atlanta. My mother has had a stroke.
How are you streaming if you're doing that?
My son's priorities are so fucked up that he literally says to me as we're in 6 lanes of traffic headed to go see my mother, who's on what turns out to be her deathbed. And he says to me, "Yeah, Dad, I'm going to get Caleb to meet me up here because got a birthday party for my cousin I got to go to. Just to call me if something happens." He wondered with awe on his face why we cut across 6 lanes of traffic and stopped in the emergency lane. And I snatched the e-brake. I walked around and snatched his door open and I pulled him out. And I said, "My mother is dying. What else needs to happen for it to be more important than your cousin's birthday party?"
All right, Doc. How many times had your mother been on her deathbed?
Once.
Once prior, or this was the only time?
This was the only time.
Okay, I guess that's acceptable. I'll let it pass. What's the point of this story?
That my son is an ungrateful little shit.
Well, you're a son.
Exactly. So
of course he is.
What are you up to?
Taking off this heavy-ass jacket.
Well, why were you in the heavy-ass jacket?
I was at the store.
With your cock
cigarettes.
Ring. With your cock ring.
Oh, I took that off already.
Go to the store.
He had to go to the store to get the KY.
What am I going to go to the store? Flaccid? I got a Balanced Breaks snack pack. Look at it.
That's what?
What?
It has nuts and cheese and dried fruit.
This is not a snack you go to the store for in the middle of the night.
Well, no, he went for cigarettes, but he just happened to get a snack while he was there.
Thank you, Carol.
I'm not even sure if I can allow that one. You come back
Did
to
you
my shows.
Did you get a Dr. Pepper?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I forgot that I asked permission.
Well, next time you remember. All right, that's what I'm paying you for.
I went and got cigarettes and Diet Coke.
There you go. Good man. Good man.
Hey, what's up, Kate? You're that broad from Pensacola, right?
I'm this bitch in Orlando. What are you talking about?
It's a jokey joke. I'm sorry.
No, I was trying to film the Falcon X go up from my front door and they canceled it in minus 2 minutes.
I'm sorry, what?
The space rockets. She was trying to film the space rocket, but they canceled.
Falcon X.
Oh, that's right. They do like launches over there.
Yeah, hello, Florida.
It turns out you were right. It is Kate in Pensacola.
I thought they only did that in Houston.
No, they have one there, but the main one's here in Port Canaveral, Florida.
They launch them all over the place, man. Southern California, Texas.
But
I saw them launching a rocket up there near Santa Maria. They got a fort, some sort of a military base, some fucking tax money sinkhole up there.
Yeah. Never a straight answer.
And I said, hey, that's interesting, but not interesting enough for a lifetime of taxes.
I hate this.
I'm sorry, you hate me? What?
I don't hate you.
Okay. All right, that's good to know. It's good to know. So, did you see, by any chance, anyone watch EBS a little while ago?
No.
He invited Dark Gift to come and cook out at his house. So I sent Anthony a message. I said, all right, step 1, go have a good time. Step 2, show my book. He said, okay. Because I'm sure that'll happen.
That's not how you do it, Doc. You say, can you get a +1? And then you get a fucking plane ticket to EBS's house.
I wouldn't buy a plane
I just
ticket.
want to go to his house and raid his costume closet. I need costumes.
Oh, I'm okay.
I live near him. Why didn't I get the invite?
Well, because you're Carol.
All right. Makes sense.
Everybody
I just
knows.
want to go to his house so I can open his fridge and lick all the butter in his fridge.
That's disgusting.
I'm leaving that alone, so I'm trying really hard to let that go.
Let it go, Kate. Let it go. Kate.
Butter, ring, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I
you
just
look.
went there.
Kate.
Now you know why I'm not allowed on stream.
You're always welcome on my channel, Kate. Except when my one remaining aunt is watching.
You have to give me one.
Listen, I got to tell you this true story.
You have a living aunt?
I have 2 left. My mother had 12 siblings.
But you're so old.
My mother had 12 siblings. Only 2 of them are left. And they used to tune into my paint live streams that I do on Facebook. And they love them, and they're always there. And that's sweet of them to come, Somehow she saw my post in a comic book page on Facebook that my campaign is going live this Friday. And she said, oh, I'm so glad you're going to be live again. I've missed the paint streams. Now, the cover to my book is right there. The post. And I'm like, yeah, it's not that kind of live, Aunt Betty. It's I've been doing
I had an Aunt Betty.
I had Grandma Betty.
Okay, because that's the relevant point and the takeaway here.
Whole bunch of Bettys.
My Bible thumping aunt then wanted to know what my book was about.
Oh no!
Oh.
Me too. What the fuck?
So I said, it's a porno.
It's a porno. What else would it be? Aunt
Just
Bet?
starring John Dillard.
So I hear a little birdie flew onto my shoulder, landed there, and stayed until morning. And it told me that you already had over 130 signups.
120.
Oh, I was going to say that you are currently sitting at 20 more signups than I had, but now you're only sitting at 10 more signups than I had when I launched.
Well, that's a good metric. How did the funding go?
By the time I close it down now, I went to 14,000.
Nice.
Very nice.
I just remember the fulfillment when you were sitting outside doing the living hell of fulfillment.
That was when I had the coof too.
Yeah.
I shipped all those packages to everybody with the coof.
Oh, so my book came with the coof all over it?
Free samples.
No, I said coof, Carol.
That's what I said.
You nasty.
Oh my god.
I'm leaving that one alone too.
Nasty.
That was for the first buckler.
Yeah. I'm so behind on everything, dude. I'm so behind. I haven't gotten any work on the Ballad of Bucklet done. I've just been struggling to keep up with my regular day-to-day work of drawing comic books for other people.
Right.
Been hard, man, I'll tell you that. It's been hard looking at a half-finished page and not having the time to go and pull it off the wall and finish it,
You're in demand, bro. That's what happens.
I gotta raise my fucking rates, dude.
Yeah, no shit.
I just raised my rates and I gotta raise them again.
Yeah, I finally hit a number that I'm happy with and got some business. So
drawing sequentials?
Yeah, doing some sequentials.
Nice. Tell me about it.
Well, I'm not sure.
What the fuck is up with all these people and their goddamn fucking secrets?
I don't know, man. I'm just, when you work for hire,
I thought that you guys wanted to be fucking famous and rich and powerful.
When there's an NDA, there's an NDA.
NDA, my fucking left testicle.
That's what she said.
And
that's the big one.
I'm hoping the left and the right remain NDA. So, but anyway, I'm also doing some pages for. I can't.
Don't put your testicles in DA.
I'm also doing.
You put it in the P.
Rex. I'm doing, I think, 10 pages for him. 3 trading cards. I got a list here somewhere written down, like a menu. It's 3 trading cards, 10 pages. And
Rex work doesn't count. You got somebody new.
This other one I'm doing, I'm kind of ghosting for him.
Oh, I see. Well,
and
never mind.
It's the breakdowns. They're going to do the inks over and the finish. All I got to do is block them in.
Well, here's some news. After getting a DM from Vic, I still haven't received my art that I paid for since August.
You said from.
Sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you, Kate. You said even after receiving a DM, I still haven't received my artwork from Vic?
Correct, and I paid him in August. And then he told me like 3 weeks ago before I busted my back, he was going to the post office that following weekend and mailing it to me. So I look at it this way. It's like going to a bad restaurant, you got bad service and you never go again. So that's how I look at it.
I'm sorry, Kate. Sorry that happened.
Speaking of bad service, I got you remember that last auction we had with Vic?
Yeah.
I sold art pieces, and I told the guy to DM me. I dropped my Twitter there so they can DM me. The guy never DM'd me. I went back and rewatched the live stream so I could see who it was that bought it, and found him on Twitter, DM'd him, never got a reply. The guy already paid in full.
Oh no.
But now I just think like sometime in the future some guy's gonna be like, yeah, I bought some artwork off that motherfucker. He never sent it to me.
right before the lockdowns kicked in, I had somebody commission a painting, and I did it. And the rule of the painting commission is half up front, and half the other half when you're happy. And I did the painting, and they were like, "We just really can't afford it right now." And I'm like, "I totally get that." I said, "Do you want me to hold it for you, and you can pay the balance later, or because I hang it on the wall, whatever." Mm-hmm. And nothing, like Dylan said, nothing. Never heard another peep. So, I mean, legally I could sell it, and I probably will, but it was like, that's the first time that's ever happened to me, where somebody just ghost out on the other half. Usually they say, no, don't want it, or yes, here's the rest of the money.
And maybe he was in a weird space here, right? Yeah. And he was like, I'm not going to continue this conversation. I'm having money trouble. Just goodbye,
Yeah, I was straight out ghosted, but hell, they paid half up front, so.
Yes, I have Doc's painting on my wall. Two of them, actually.
Yes, you do, but not a good one. I'm going to send you a good painting.
I know. We discussed it.
They're rare, but when they come around, there's something to look at.
Oh, Dillard. A Doc painting is always a masterpiece.
She's going to have 3 in total, and 2 are not good, you just said, and 1 is?
What's the other one? I don't remember 2, Kate.
The one with the one that accompanies the castle.
I'm trying to remember. Look,
I made myself some instant coffee. It's so good.
Every now and then I'll make some instant, but this is going to be one of those days where I'm going to have to live off of my coffee and then pass out tonight.
Whatever. I still have to go to work today.
Don't go to work. Call off.
I can't. I only work 2 days a week.
Go off half her work week.
We call that volunteering, Carol.
So I've got a neighbor that I don't know how the house she's in, because it's twice as big as mine. She works at a convenience store part-time. But damned if she ain't been there for going on 10 years now, so she's paying them bills. Don't know what's up with that.
Shoot, they're trying to, for Dunkin' Donuts, they're trying to get people to come in at $16 an hour.
Holy shit.
Dunkin' Donuts, $16 an hour here.
I remember when I started
$18.50 starting at McDonald's.
And 75 cents an hour when I started working.
That's your fault, Doc. Don't blame other people for that.
That was minimum wage back
That's
then.
what you were worth.
Wow, I'm only worth $10 an hour.
It hurt, bro. It hurt.
Even my first job, I went to go work at a warehouse unloading a truck, and they were like, "Oh, the starting pay is what was it, $9.75, something like that." I was like, I'll take 11. They're like, "Oh no, that's the starting pay. It's $9.75. It's not negotiable." I was like, I'll see you fucking later then. They're like, "Okay, hold on a second." Like, look, dude, it's hard fucking work. You worked in a warehouse, I'm sure. Where I live in the Inland Empire in California. The most famous town, even though there's bigger towns, but the most famous town is Fontana, because that's where all the shipping goes to. That area. It's just miles and miles of warehouses. That's where everybody has their first job. People don't really work fast food around here. It's all warehouse work. It's everybody's right out of high school job. And the shit's miserable conditions, dude. It's hot as fuck. And a lot of these places, they just have fans in the warehouse,
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever been inside of like a box truck unloading boxes with just the fan circulating that 125-degree temperature weather. It's like, it doesn't work.
Yes, I've unloaded more than one truck.
Yeah, and then they want you to do three a shift. You know what I mean? I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah.
$9.50 and $9.70. Get the fuck
I know I got a job one time while I was in college that I was completely unqualified for. So there was a friend of mine that was a secretary for the project director for the fiber optic rebuild of Metro Atlanta, looking for an executive assistant. Now, I don't know what the requirements were, but I went and I interviewed for this job. And the guy I interviewed with, his name was Tom Gilbert, and old Tom was a Marine. So we started swapping those stories that Dillard hates. And he sends everyone else home, and I'm hired. To this day, I don't know what my job was.
nepotism,
Because apparently,
cronyism, rascalism.
apparently the only requirement was
Gopher.
to ride around with dude in the car, loan him my cigarettes, and verify that work was done so that paychecks could be cut. And Dillard,
Yeah,
I made fucking fat wallet doing this
I
job.
bet you did, you crony.
It was almost, I almost felt guilty for those people.
It was almost like stealing money.
It was, except, I clocked in every day. It's one of those jobs where you have to wear work boots, a helmet, but you wear a tie.
Yeah, you wear work boots and a helmet and a white lab coat and a clipboard.
Pretty much.
Sissy ass.
It's like, I don't have any work boots. I guess I better go get some. Turned out it was a good investment because they were paying me an obscene amount of money for this job.
Yeah, I got this job at this place called Inland Kenworth, a trucking sales company. I don't know if you guys seen Kenworth trucks before. The ones with the real skinny noses.
Yep.
And they were opening up a new position, and they didn't have it before, but they wanted to get something. They were building a new facility, a little bay next to the paint shop that was going to be the detail, wash, and detail. When they buy old trucks, trade-ins.
Yeah.
Me, I tear them down, take everything out, clean them up as best as possible, and then put them back out there on the line to resell. Or if somebody buys a new truck, throw it in there. I make it spick and span and sparkly, so when they pick it up, they're happy. So they were like, well, can you drive a truck, right? And I was like, sure, I can drive a truck. I fucking had no idea how to drive a truck, Doc.
Right.
Matter of fact, I didn't even have interview clothes. I went in there wearing this coat in the middle of summer, but it was the only thing I had that looked dressy, right? So I was like sweating bullets underneath this coat.
Yep.
And they were like, yeah, okay, so tell you what we'll do. I'll tell you how it's going to work. I got to talking with the guy. I can be nice and personable when I want to be. And I took a liking. And I'm not going to lie. He did tell me later on that the main reason he hired me because I was the first person that showed up that had a accent. I was Mexican. He said his heart sunk because he had already interviewed like 7 people, all very Mexican. All of them could barely speak English, but because I spoke very well, I got the job. But he got in the truck and he's like, all right, just pull it up over there. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, because I watched him, right? I got in the truck with him. He was in the driver's seat. I was in the passenger seat. And I was watching him like a hawk, trying to memorize everything he was doing step by step, right? Turning the key on, turning in the brakes and all that and getting everything airline cleared. And then, and it was a stick too. And luckily I knew how to drive stick because like my first car was a stick, but it's not the same at all driving it.
No, it's not.
And when he told me, all right, go ahead and pull the truck around the backside and I'm going to bring another truck in here. And I was like, okay. So he left me alone. And I had about 5 minutes to get this truck from where it was back around to the backside of the bay and pull it into the shade. And that was the most frantic 5 minutes of my life. I was pushing buttons, flipping toggles and shit, trying to get this thing going. And was finally able to get it in first gear and all the way around. Screaming, right? In first gear, all the way around. Turned it off, got out, pretended I had been sitting there for a while waiting, And then after he came back, he was like, all right, cool. Yeah, I think we're done here, dude. Can you start Monday? I was like, yeah.
And you later ended up driving a big rig.
Mm-hmm.
So I have questions about that. Seriously.
Go ahead. I got answers.
Is it true that you don't clutch?
You have to clutch. Are you talking about like in the higher gears?
Well, I mean, one of the guys I knew said he never used his clutch.
That's a lie. It's impossible.
Okay. All right. That was my thinking.
You need to have your clutch engaged when you start the fucking vehicle. You absolutely need your clutch when you go into first.
Yeah.
And first just gets...
Now, if he says, I didn't double clutch, people rarely
what is
do.
double clutching? That's another question.
Okay. I'll show you like this, right? And you get a little further back. You have your hands at 10 and 2 or at 9 and 3. Normally when you're driving, they're at 4 and 8. But what you do is you put your truck, you have your shifter here, right? Now your shifter normally will have 6 gears. Then you have a toggle on the front of it called a spitter. Because when you click it, it goes, psst, right?
Yep.
That puts you into a higher register of gears. So you go from 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, right?
Gotcha.
So when you put into first, you have your clutch depressed, right?
Yep.
And let's say, well, that's not double clutching. Let's say, for instance, you're in second gear. We'll start at the beginning. You're in first gear, and the light turns green, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you let off the clutch and start to press the gas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that will get you into first. Now, what you should do is clutch, take it out of first,
go to
clutch
second.
again, put it into second.
Oh.
Because it's like, I don't know if you ever driven like a performance vehicle, like a Porsche or a Lambo.
An NSX.
Oh, well, if you've driven like a performance vehicle, something with a lot of power, you'll notice that like the clutch kicks fucking back at you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the same thing that a truck does.
Right.
So you put it in, you get it out of first, get it again in second, and then keep on going. Now, normally when you're driving in normal traffic, city traffic, whatever, you always start off in second because it takes too much time to get to first, second, whatever. So you start in second, then jump to fourth.
Mm-hmm.
But because again, you got to get to the light. You got a 70-foot vehicle, right? So you got to get to the next light before that shit turns red too. So you're always flooring it in a truck. You're always basically red light. Your foot is always pedal to the metal.
Right.
And,
Right.
and your truck goes. So when they say I float my gears, right? Basically, what you do is you barely, when you let go of the gas, let's say you're revving it, you're about 3,000, 4,000 RPM.
Yeah.
You let off the gas, your shifter will get a little loose.
Yes.
At that moment when you let off the gas, you can actually pull it out and shove it into the next gear.
Yes.
And then gas it again without clutching.
Yeah. I can drive it with a clutch. Yeah.
That's called floating your gears.
Okay.
So if he's saying I never use my clutch, that's probably what he's talking about. But absolutely, if you're at a dead stop or you're starting, you need to use the clutch.
Yeah. Now, I had a VW Beetle back in the 80s, and the clutch cable just broke. And I'm 400 miles away from the base where I was stationed, and I got to be there in the morning. So there's not an option here. I got to go. And dude said, well, I mean, you can drive it without the clutch. And I'm like, you can. So he explained it to me. But basically what you had to do is if there was a red light, you just had to let it die and then put it in first and crank it in first. And it would pull itself and start going, and then you just float.
Mm-hmm.
That's a way to ruin your car, yeah.
Had to get there, bro. Had to get there. There's no such thing as tardy in the military.
All right, guys. I want to jump out and go back to bed.
All
All
right,
right,
Kate.
see you later, Kate.
Bye,
Yeah.
Kate.
Go get some rest.
Bye. You guys have a great one.
You too.
All right.
I'm trying, but I'm here with Doc and Carol.
I know, we're the worst.
It's just miserable. What's wrong with it? I was going to
Yeah,
do an experiment, Dylan. I was going to.
Pain pill and go back lay down.
Yeah, you do that. Get some sleep.
I am. Bye, guys.
So I was just gonna launch a stream and not even come on. Just see how many views it got.
Mm-hmm. Well, you do that all the time, except I click on your channel and it's fucking ugly old Joe Schmo looking at me. What's his name?
And then Kate came in and said, "What the fuck?"
Those exact words.
Yes, and so the social butterfly that I am, I came on out. Because, I figure if Rex can get hundreds of views for his empty chair when he went to work, I thought I would give it a go.
So what does the title of your stream mean?
I forgot what it said.
He's up to something.
They're just words to fill the space. It's up to something. I just know it.
All right. Keep your secrets.
Dylan, what's the best quote from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
The end.
Come on now.
I didn't like that movie. I don't have it committed to memory. I thought it was a boring movie.
Okay.
It's nothing against you or your taste in movies. Just me personally, I don't like movies that have to there are very few movies that I find amusing that are drug movies.
I agree with that 100%. However, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas was filled with so many one-liners that I went down that road just for the one-liners.
I get you. There's some things I just cannot tolerate.
Yeah, and I've got a whole.
Like this I think this movie even won awards and stuff like that. It was a movie called The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
And there's a scene in the movie where they're on drugs, and apparently everybody talks about this scene like it was some fucking tour de force, right? And I'm like, I couldn't give a rat's ass about two assholes pretending to be high. What the shit?
Yeah, I don't care anything about that shit. There's a whole bucket full of shit. I can't stand toilet humor comedies. Will Ferrell.
People said, "Oh, you haven't seen Pineapple Express."
Yeah, I don't.
I haven't seen it.
Will Ferrell, Ben Stiller, Adam Sandler did one good movie that he should have won an Academy Award for, but the rest of them were shit. Did you ever see Rain Over Me?
No.
Nope.
He's playing a guy. It's not a comedy. He's playing a guy who he was a dentist, and his old buddy runs into him, and the guy's just weird as shit now.
A Jew dentist. Way to break the mold.
And the guy's just bizarre. All he does is play video games, and he's always remodeling his kitchen. Always. And the guy who plays War Machine in the MCU, the Don Cheadle, is the other actor. And the guy's going to therapy, and the therapist is played by Liv Tyler. And by the way, spot on performance by her, because she does it exactly right. She never says a word to him until he meaningfully engages, and that's a reality in counseling. Anyway, it turns out that he's suffering from extreme PTSD. He got in a fight with his wife and told her to go to hell and all this, and then hung up on her as she got on her flight on 9/11.
Oof.
So he's had PTSD ever since. And then there's a scene where he's at his counselor's office, but he's not in with the counselor. He's just sitting in the waiting room with his friend Don Cheadle. And he starts telling the story of what happened. And it all makes sense. They were in the process of remodeling their kitchen when this happened. And the video game he's always playing was his son's favorite video game. So he lost his whole family on 9/11, and he's trapped in this endless hell. And I'm like, my God, it's a great fucking movie.
Sounds depressing as fuck. I don't want to watch that.
It was intense. It really was. He spends all his time in escapism. He goes to all night Laurel and Hardy marathons, he wants his friend to goof off with him and be the same way. And the friend, he can't do that. He's got a real life. So anyway, it's a really good movie.
You say so.
Doc, are you a what did you say this character was? Liv Tyler?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you say this character was? Liv Tyler? What was her job?
She was the counselor.
Okay. What kind of counselor? And are you a counselor or were you a counselor?
Yes.
And what kind of counselor were you?
I specialized in addiction and mood disorders, which is Axis 1. Also handled Axis 5, which is interpersonal crises like divorce, separation, loss of a loved one, that kind of stuff. Why, you want a session?
I'm really thinking, Doc.
Mm-hmm.
What would make a great YouTube series?
Nope.
I wonder.
You want to get on the couch? Let me tell you something. One of the funniest things that ever happened to me in practice, had a guy come in. He was mandated. He had to come, court ordered evaluation. Dude comes into my office. And yeah, I have a couch in there, but it's not for laying down on. It's for if I have more than one person. He comes in and lays down on the thing. And I'm just sitting in my chair looking at him. And he looks over and he goes, "Aren't you going to ask me questions?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I'm going to ask you some questions, but we typically do that sitting over here at my desk. We don't do that lay on the sofa."
Well, in the movies, everybody's laying on that stupid ass couch.
Yeah, and I would have forgiven it had I not said, "Here, have a seat," and pointed at the chair.
He was nervous.
No, he was fucked up.
That too. Make fun of your patients.
I remember there was one cat, same thing. I was doing an involuntary assessment on him, and there was a rookie counselor that had done it first, had seen him first, and he was a little bit out of his depth. So they called me, and I went in, and the guy was about to release him and say, I know something's not right, but I can't find a reason to hold him. We call it a 1013, involuntary commit. I said, okay. So I went in and I sat down and I started doing, we have a thing called the compass assessment. I started doing a compass assessment with the guy. And I said, what do you do if someone disrespects you? And the guy's eyes glazed over and he said, I fucking kill them. I kill them in their sleep. I reach in this book bag right here and I pull out a gun, and he reached for a gun. So I kicked the bag away from him and I said, no, we're not going to do that.
Oh, shit.
Like, holy shit. Interesting job.
Yeah, sounds fun.
Most of the time it was very rewarding. It's a lot of work, though. I hate the paperwork.
The paperwork.
I have nightmares about the shit these people say. You have nightmares about the fucking paperwork that's still sitting on your desk that you should have done yesterday.
I just don't do paperwork.
They tell you when you're in school the 3 necessary but not sufficient things that you must have to be an effective counselor: genuineness, empathy, and unconditional positive regard. They didn't tell you the 4th thing. You had to have a memory like a steel trap, because you don't take notes. That's also a myth. You don't sit and take notes. You give your undivided attention to the person in front of you.
Yeah.
So you have to remember every significant thing that happens for that whole session, and then you have to write it down before you forget.
Can't you record the session?
You can with their consent, but it tends to hinder the person sitting there, and they get self-conscious about being recorded.
Whatever.
It is whatever. I mean, it's their dime. That's what they're paying for.
I suppose.
I had a paranoid schizophrenic one time. There was a digital clock in my office. Learned my lesson about that. Don't have one of those in there. He was convinced that damn thing was recording him and filming him.
Well,
So
it was.
So I had to unplug it, and I handed it to him. I said, "You hold it. It's all yours. You're in charge."
I had this guy that I knew on YouTube here. Scott Shamir was his name. He was a friend of mine. He'd come on the show a lot. He'd come on my buddy Rick Piper's show a lot.
Are you drawing?
Oh, fuck. Okay, hold on. All right. How do I sound now? I'm giving you my undivided attention.
You're fine.
Loud and clear.
Okay. So there's this guy that used to hang out with a lot named Scott. He has still has his own YouTube channel, Scott Schmier, and he does videos about gang stalking. He claims he's being gang stalked. I didn't even know what gang stalked was until I started watching his videos. But he was a friend, and he seemed like an okay dude, just kind of like a down on his luck kind of guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he lives in doesn't live in my area, but he lives close. He lives in the LA area. And I told him, I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to be going fishing. You want to go fishing with me? I'll take you fishing. You know, he was couldn't stand up too long, wheelchair bound, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, I got a pickup truck. I'll push you. I got extra poles. I like going fishing. Normally I have nobody to go with, right?
Right.
Go fishing. I'll buy lunch. We'll get some burgers. We'll go fishing for an hour or two and then drop you back off.
Sounds
But
good.
He was kind of real deep in his depression. I couldn't convince him to go, you know?
Right.
So I said, all right. And what I did end up getting out of him was his address. So I went to, he was an artist, right? He was a starting artist.
Right.
And he sold stuff to his neighbors. He would draw things and then sell it to his neighbors. But every time he would show me stuff on a live stream, it'd be on like some really poor quality piece of paper with all that stuff. So I went by Michael's and I bought good $150, $200 worth of stuff. Some stuff I kept, right? Because I needed more Bristol. But I bought him a pack of Bristol, bought him some tone paper, I bought him a couple of packs of the Micron multi-liners, you know, just a big gift bag full of shit, right?
Great gift.
Yeah. For somebody that draws, right?
Yeah.
And you can try to get that to your wife on Valentine's.
You're in the doghouse, yeah.
I would like to.
But I go fishing, right? As I'm driving by, like from my house, it's a straight shot from my house to the pier. So I kind of detour a little bit just to make sure I swing by his area. And I stopped there, and lo and behold, he was home. All right. And I was like, I wasn't expecting that because he said that he was going to be out. I was just going to drop by and leave the stuff on his front porch.
Yeah.
But he's there, and he sees me, and he's like, Dillard? And I'm like, hey, what up, Scott? You know? So we sit and have a long conversation, about a good hour and a half, 2 hour conversation, you know? Just hanging out. He didn't want to go get a burger or nothing. He just wanted to kind of stay there.
Mm-hmm.
And chit-chatted with him for, a good while, and he was very appreciative, and he was like, oh, this is very nice. I said, okay, yeah, don't be gay about it. And eventually I leave, right? And then I would say it didn't take very long. I would say within the next 2 weeks, he kind of ghosted me online and then started doing videos talking about how people pretend to be your friends and they steal your stuff behind your back.
Uh-oh.
No.
And I was like, what? And I was like, I said, you know me, I'm not very shy. I was in the chat. I was like, are you talking about me, Scott? And as soon as I typed in the chat, I saw the look go across his face, like, this motherfucker, right? And I was like, oh my god.
Oh, wow.
And stopped going on my buddy Rick's channel anymore. And he was like, he was on there like, dude, like basically a co-host.
So paranoid schizophrenic.
Chasing out is stealing his stuff.
That I was stealing his stuff, making copies of it, selling it. I was like,
Paranoid schizophrenic all day.
And he even offered like to give me, oh, I got to give you something for this, right? Take this piece of art. And I was like, I'm not taking any pieces of artwork, dude. I don't do that shit. I don't like that shit. I don't like other people's artwork. Trying to be rude so that to really drive home the point that I'm not looking for anything from you.
Right, exactly. I didn't do this for you to reciprocate.
And I don't want you to talk about this on a live stream either. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he ended up going ahead and doing that anyway and being very, lengthy on his diatribe about it on his own channel and on Rick's channel, which was bad news for me. It's cramping my persona. But I don't know what happened, but about 2 weeks in, all of a sudden, everything flipped. And that I was responsible for the gang stalking, that there's multiple people following him around. There are people. He has videos up right now because he posts all the videos of the attempted gang stalkers, right?
Right.
He puts on the thing and he puts on his radio and he says, "Can't you hear them talking about me?"
Oh no.
Wow. Bless his heart. He's struggling, man. That dude, he needs help. Still going on?
It's still going on, yeah.
He needs help.
This has been about 3 years now.
So there's a couple of things.
Number one, did I make a mistake?
No, you did not. So he's either dealing with schizophrenia, paranoid schizophrenia, or occasionally severe rapid cycling, unmedicated bipolar can mimic those symptoms. And sometimes addiction can mimic that, but there would be so many other symptoms with that you would know.
Yeah, so it's definitely not that.
Yeah, so it sounds like my man's just paranoid schizophrenic. And unfortunately, if it's the personality disorder that goes with it, it's not curable. It's treatable, but it's not curable. You can't cure a personality disorder. Basically, we used to just say, all you can really do with a personality disorder is kick them back in play for another week. They come in, you try to get their head screwed on straight, and kick them back out there for another week and bring them back in. Those are the only long-term treatments you do. And I did not enjoy working with personality disorders.
What did you enjoy working with?
Good thing I don't have a personality.
I love working with addicts. I like doing mood disorders. That's depression. PTSD.
What is a mood disorder?
That's depression.
I feel like I have many of them.
That's depression, PTSD, anxiety, panic disorder, generalized anxiety, that kind of thing.
Wait, isn't generalized anxiety and panic disorders also not curable, only treatable?
No, they're absolutely curable. It just takes a combination. I'm sorry, let me preface this. I generally accept that it is both psychiatric and psychological. So it requires both. You got to have good supportive therapy and the proper medication.
What are your thoughts on low dose antidepressant meds?
Well, generally, my thoughts are, particularly with depressive disorder, not just situational depression. Like situational depression, don't get on any medication for that shit. You just process it and move on. With the disorder, whatever works is what you do, because depression can spiral into other things like having agoraphobia along with it. You don't want to leave the house. It can destroy your life. So you do what it takes. And I will, usually within 2 or 3 sessions, if necessary, I go ahead and write a referral to a psychiatrist and say, hey, let's get this guy on some meds. Go from there. You got to do good, strong, supportive therapy with it. Make sure everything lands on its feet. You know what I'm saying? Because the medication can sometimes cause more problems than it addresses.
How often does that happen?
About 1 in 5 cases, the meds make it worse or create something different. But like with bipolar disorder, if you don't treat
Carol, I need meds.
Okay, what would you like me to do?
Write him a script. Write him a script.
Sure. I can do that. What would you like?
Never self-diagnose, Dillard. Never do that.
I'm broke, Doc.
Never self-diagnose. There's always free health care.
Everybody always seems to think that I just got money falling out of my pockets. I can't even keep it in my pockets. It's just falling all over the street.
There's always free mental health. Always. People like me, 1 day a week, absolutely free. You have no money, you come see me. I'll take care of you. 1 day a week, my entire career. There are other counselors that do that, but then there's also nonprofit centers and whatever. No,
I told you right now, and you refuse to do it online with me as a show.
I am no longer credentialed, sir. That would be illegal. No, I retired in 2017, Michael. Thank God. I loved my career, but Dylan, I think I told you before, it was so weird, man. It was trying to renew my credentials, but my art was making more money than the counseling price, which was just insane at the time, you know? And I was talking to the wife about it. And she said, baby, you've been working since you were 15. You go ahead. I had my IRA. You go ahead and retire. Like, all right. She said, paint your ass off, baby. All right, cool.
Yeah, Michael Taylor says it's a pain in the ass just going to a doctor's appointment and having to fill out paperwork in the waiting room.
It is. And here was the thing too. Interesting note: a medical doctor, not my doctor, but one that I knew.
Right back.
All right, came in with his kids for some family dynamic stuff they needed counseling with, and in counseling, your appointment is your appointment. Like if your appointment is at 10 o'clock, you're sitting across from me. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to say to him, why is it when I go to the doctor, the medical doctor, my appointment's at 10, I get in at 11:30? The fuck is that?
But what is the fuck? What the fuck is that?
I didn't say that to him, but I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I'm not a doctor. Doc?
Me neither. But anyway, forgot what the hell I was saying before I went off on that tangent.
How come you just can't do a show with me and give me advice as a friend, Doc?
I can give advice as a friend, but let me give you a little clue here. The counseling model, the counseling model that I use is the Kharkov model, which is a method of applying client-centered therapy that also incorporates cognitive behavioral therapy. And I'll break that down into easy to understand terms. What it means is I'm not going to give you advice and I'm not going to solve your problem. I'll help you discover what your problem is and help you discover your solution to it.
Is this witchcraft?
Nope. It's good old hard science. Because the thing is, if you ever go see a therapist and you have one session and they immediately tell you what's wrong with you and start telling you what to do, leave.
I ain't got time to come back next week.
You're the expert on you. You've known you your whole life. I just met you. How could I possibly know you well enough to hear your initial complaint and go, okay, here's what you need to do? It takes time. And what I would do is called, it's just basically brief therapy. In 8 sessions, if I can't get you where you need to be or on the path to where you need to be, I'm going to refer you to somebody else because I'm not having an effect. So the converse of that is true, that usually within 8 weeks, people start responding and doing well.
I was having a conversation with my wife, and we were talking about people that have problems, people that get down on themselves, because she was getting down on herself or something. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about it for a while. When those conversations that last a long time, but a lot of the time you're just sitting there quiet because you're thinking.
Yes.
And I was like, you know what? It's really there's a big issue here, and I think the big issue is that number one, I don't think that you hold me in high enough regard to listen to anything that I have to say as something that you would say, I hadn't thought of that before, or you're right. you know,
Mm-hmm.
because you, number one, she's very smart, but number two, she also thinks she's very smart. So that's a problem, because if you're in your head fighting against you, you're very smart. So if you're fighting against yourself, you're going to lose.
Yes. Every time you fight a battle with yourself, you win and you lose.
Mm-hmm.
I never
win. So you were saying internally that my feedback's not going to matter to you no matter what, because you're fighting this in your head and nothing I say is going to rival that.
Well, I wasn't saying it internally. Well, yeah, I was saying it out loud, but I was saying that internally, my feedback really isn't going to matter because you think you're far cleverer than I am.
Right.
And
so it made it feel like, what's the point of even saying anything? Why bother?
So what I said was, what I think, if this is really getting on you, and you need to find somebody that you hold in a higher regard than me and go talk to that person.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's a doctor, a therapist, psychologist, whatever,
mm-hmm.
and go work it out that way. Was that the right path to go down, or was that me passing the buck?
Let me be sure I followed that. So you pretty much told her in response to her telling you about her problem.
Now, it's not like I didn't sit and listen to her problem.
So yeah, you thoroughly listened and comprehended.
Yeah. And we had a back and forth for, I would say, about a good maybe 5 hours.
So it was an intense conversation.
Yeah.
And she was pouring it out there.
And everything that I was putting out there, she was shooting down. That was like during the first 45 minutes, right? And then the conversation went on for a long time. I can't even recall all of it, but I was giving scenarios. I was trying to put things into categories, break things down. If this is A plus B equals C, then this is C because you did A and B, and blah, blah, blah. But it was basically a stone. I wouldn't say a stalemate. I was just getting stonewalled because I think I came to the realization that she doesn't hold my opinion in high enough regard.
But you were throwing out the best you had. You were like you said, you were adding 1 and 2 and coming up with 3 and laying it out there, and she was swatting that down.
Yes. And it was always like, well, it can't be that because of, I feel like maybe this, it's like, well, fuck me.
So internally you're feeling like, what's the point? Everything I say, she's going to shoot down.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it must be because she doesn't think I know my ass from a hole in the ground.
Correct.
And go talk to somebody else because she might listen to them.
Yes.
So Dillard, I would say you were feeling frustrated because you wanted to help her, but she wouldn't let you.
Correct. Oh, yeah, but was that the right road to go down, to wash my hands of it?
What I'm hearing, interestingly, out of that question is it's stayed with you of, did you do the right thing for your wife or not?
Correct, yes.
So how long ago was this?
This was August of last year.
Wow. So it's hung in there a minute. Well, I mean, what do you think you need to do to be okay with your decision of how you handled it?
Oh, I need to see results, right?
From
my wife.
From her. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, to answer your question, there's not a right.
Because the situation was kicked down the road and nothing ever came of it.
Right. So it's still unresolved.
Yes.
And one more time, give me the 11-second elevator pitch on what she was throwing at you.
Basically, she was unhappy in a new position because she felt unqualified over her head and that life was going to pass her by and she wasn't going to have time to see her kids.
so, so she was struggling with something, and now you're struggling with your response to her struggle.
Yes.
And that's interesting. Well, I'm going to do what I normally would not do as a counselor, and I'm going to answer your question that you asked. Normally, it would help you to figure out your own answer to it,
But okay. But number one, why would you not answer the question as a counselor?
well, you're going to see why right now.
Okay.
Because the obvious answer is you don't feel like you did the right thing.
Right.
And that's the answer to your question. It's not, did you do the right thing or not? It's how do you feel about what you did? Because it's sticking with you. The problem that she's having, you said, is still going on. And so that's reverberating with you. You're wondering, is that my fault that it's still going on?
Right.
And that's causing you stress. So my question to you would be, what can you do about what she does or does not do?
I can push the issue to the point that I make her do what I want her to do.
Mm-hmm.
And because I have that option, I feel the responsibility of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if you did that, would it really affect a change internally in her, or would it just elicit a behavior?
I can honestly say I don't know.
Chances are it would elicit the behavior you want.
You think?
If you won that struggle. But what would that do for you? Because here's what I would say to you if you were an actual client, you're sitting in my office. I would say to you, she's not here with her problem. You're here with your problem. And your problem is how you feel about how you handled that situation. Your problem that you're here for today is not about what to do with her.
Well, no, my actual problem is I don't know, right? I don't have a experience or somebody that went through the same situation or some sort of like I don't know.
You don't have that frame of reference.
I don't have that frame of reference to be like, this is what I should do and I should feel a way about it. I don't know. Do I take away her autonomy and berate her into doing what I want her to do so that I could feel like I helped? Or would that even, I don't know what it would make me feel. All I feel is like, all I feel is like, I don't feel helpless, but I feel like if maybe it's my job to do something more.
Mm-hmm.
It's my responsibility to do something more.
You're responsible because you're the head of the household. That's your wife.
Right.
Yeah. But you used an interesting word there. If I took away her autonomy.
Yeah.
And how do you see her internally responding to that? Not the outward behavior. How would she feel about
that? Very bad. Because of her, I guess it's something I'm genuinely scared to do, because then she might see me the same as her father or her much older brother.
You're worried that you're going to come across as a tyrant.
I'm worried that it'll take what we have that's special and turn it into something ugly.
Yes. And those are legitimate concerns. So what do you think the answer is? I mean, you're telling me right now what you think the answer is. Are you hearing yourself?
No, I'm not. I'm not that self-aware.
Yeah. You know this is not something you want to do or that you should do. You can't make her.
But I have to do it?
No, you don't have to do anything at all. The only person you can really work with in this situation is yourself. You got to work with where you're at with things. You know, how do I feel about letting her stay where she's at versus how do I feel about taking away, as you said, her autonomy? and being seen as this reflection of tyrants in her life, like her father or older brother. You don't want to be that.
No, I don't.
So that's your decision. That's your decision, isn't it?
That's what I decided.
Yes.
But again, like I said, I'm struggling with it.
Yeah. Because you care about her. You care. You see the solution she should do. But in order for her to do that, you would have to pretty much snatch the steering wheel out of her hands.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do that. All right. So now I'll take off the counselor hat. And I'll just...
Michael says this sounds like a slippery slope. Oh, it's not a slippery slope. It's a sticky wicket.
And this is how the therapy that I do works. But I'm going to step out of that for a minute and just give you a little friendly advice. Encourage her and respond to what she's saying without giving advice, because 90% of the time, what someone wants is just to be heard and to be listened to. They don't want you to solve the problem. They just want you to hear what they're saying and understand it and demonstrate that you understand it.
Yeah, I get that.
So you might say to her, for example, honey, I'm hearing that you're afraid right now in your current circumstance, whatever that may be. Is she still in that same situation, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, so, you're not comfortable where you're at. You're afraid. You don't know if it's the right thing in relationship with the kids. And, you feel overwhelmed in your circumstance. Just by reflecting that to her, she's going to go, damn, he heard me. He gets me. He understands what I'm going through. And by not giving advice, you're not taking the problem out of her hands. You're giving her autonomy to deal with it. And, she's going to respond to you, John, by saying, yeah, and here's kind of what I'm thinking, or here's what I would really like to do. Eventually that will come up. But that's as far as I go on the advice train. And let me tell you why. If I give advice to someone, not you, I give advice to Carol up there, and she goes and does what I say.
Carol's out of control. She's going to go throw butter and shit.
I throw cheese.
And I give her the advice, and it makes the problem worse. That's my fault. If I give her the advice and it fixes the problem, then I get the credit for that. She hasn't learned anything. But if I help her find her own solution, then if it works for her, great, she solved her problem. If it doesn't work for her, she's got to move on to the next idea, because it's still hers to deal with. You see what I'm saying? We were taught, never give advice. The wise don't need it, and a fool won't heed it. So we guide, we don't advise.
Whatever.
You're in the latter category, Carol.
Why does everybody hate me?
Carol, I think you're one of the coolest people in the world. Because you're the only person I know that has a sense of humor just like mine. She's just Carol.
Just Carol.
I was having a conversation with Manticore off the air.
Oh, no.
We were talking about insufferable women. And we came to the conclusion that the only two women that are tolerable and actually fun to hang around on streams are Carol and Fanta.
That's for a large part pretty true. Now I like Carissa. Carissa Grant is fun to hang out with, and I just met this other girl, Amy Good. She just started a channel. She's a cool young lady. So.
I like Carissa.
Yeah, Carissa's fun.
I don't know these broads.
John, what is your wife? What's her name?
Rose.
What?
Rose. What does Rose think about what you do as far as the art goes?
She doesn't care what I do. She's kind of like the what do you call it? It's one of the main reasons I liked her. We kind of bonded over this when we first met, which was it doesn't really matter what you do. It matters what you do when you're not doing what you do.
Right.
And she likes the artwork. She thinks, and it took a long time for me to actually believe it, but she genuinely does think that I have talent that I can go places with and will support us.
Nice.
Right.
That's a good feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And then she got really excited when it actually started. Right.
Yeah.
Because that was a big conversation, right? The whole stopping the truck driving stuff and then actually making the move to doing full-time artwork.
Yeah, that was exactly the same conversation Tacy and I had, and she just said, go paint your ass off, baby. What a great feeling, And then it was shortly after that. Check it out, man. The truck needed a new computer. That's expensive as shit. The hot water heater died and the dryer died all on the same day. Now I got savings, but you like to save that for true emergencies. There's a medical thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, man, I don't want to write these checks. Sold a painting that day for $7,000.
God damn.
And it covered almost all of that. So I was only out of pocket like a couple $100. And the look in her eyes when that paycheck, paid for those things from my art, something I know you get this. When something you did with your own talent pays the bills that way, pays a big bill, that's a good feeling. That's a great feeling.
Yeah, the first thing I did when I had all the bills paid and I had a little bit of extra money, I took them all to go get ice cream at La Michoacana ice cream store.
There you go. That's exactly right.
I said, this is nice.
I remember.
And all I have to do is when I get back, just go draw some more.
Yeah. I remember my stepdaughter, she bucked on me hard, not because I was stepdad, but because she's one of these dye your hair green or pink or whatever, lesbian, liberal, she knows I'm a hardcore conservative, whatever. So
yeah, she's a Carol, essentially.
She basically hates my point of view. So therefore she'll hate anything that I do. And she said, hey, I just don't like your art. And I said, yeah. I said, well, that art put the gas in the truck that's taking you to school right now. Keeps the lights on, in the house you sleep in. That, by the way, is also paid for by that art. So, you don't have to like it.
Yeah, you really don't. And it's okay. Because the thing is this, like my wife, she wants to be like, hey, let's do something together with your art stuff. But it always falls through because she tries to be supportive by feigning interest, which is not what I want, right? I don't want you to feign interest in what I'm doing.
Yep. Yep.
Just tell me, hey, you want some? You want the salt? You want some gravy on that? I'll be like, yeah. That's what I want.
I'm blessed that way. Look, I'll ask my wife, what do you think of this painting? And she only ever gives two responses. She'll say, looking good. That means keep working. Or she'll say, pretty. That means you're done.
Pretty.
She doesn't give feedback on my art. She doesn't critique my art. And she doesn't care what art I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, go paint your ass off, baby. I'm like, you got it, honey. That's what I do. Of course, now it's drawing, not painting. But that's the part.
That's neither here nor there.
Yeah. But that's the part that's a little frustrating. It's like this whole campaign, if successful, will fund for less than one day's work on a painting. And this has been 6 months of drawing,
Oh, yeah. I understand completely. Like the money that I made off the buckler, like that shit was been spent before I even got it, right?
Yeah.
And like, I had stuff that I was falling behind on certain things because I knew I had pretty much I had set aside enough time and fell back on enough things that I needed to make at least $5,000 in order to recoup that cost.
Good on you, Michael. Good on you.
And I was like, okay, so I did that, and then it was fine. It was whatever was after that was fine. There was no drama from it, mentally, right?
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I mean, I don't really see I don't really see how people can be so how people can lack such self or have a lack of such self-awareness that they don't or can't make plans without like everything's all contingent upon how well the campaign does.
Mhm.
Like you got to have a plan to move forward, whether your campaign does very poorly or very well.
Yes, absolutely. I think the issue there is that it takes so long to produce a book versus do a painting. You know what I'm saying? If you do a painting and it's not great, fuck it, you throw it in the corner and you do another one. But you pour so much time into and so much work into doing sequential art, which in my opinion is far harder than painting. Painting's easy. I mean, it's like breathing to me. I can do that with my eyes closed just about.
You can breathe? Your eyes
closed? Sometimes.
Pretty fancy.
Pretty fancy. Fancy breather. But when you hang the world on whether or not your campaign does good on a book, I can relate to that. It's not going to derail me one way or the other.
Yeah, like when I did artwork and attempted to get it in galleries and stuff like that, and did little shows, the most I ever sold a piece for ever was $900. And I was like, and that was like weeks worth of work and prep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think the entire show, I sold like 4 pieces. And I was like, okay, well,
there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good show.
It's not an income replaceable show.
Yeah, because that takes a lot of time to build up too,
and it takes a lot of money to replace the amount of money you make with a regular job.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight, man. If like I said, I started painting basically when I was a kid, and I just never stopped. Military painting, medicine painting, college painting, counselor painting, all the time. And you just over time you build up. That first collector will find you, and they talk to each other. So the next show you do, that collector shows up and he brings a collector friend with him. And then before you know it, you've got collectors, plural. And that's, before the internet, that's how you made your money. Now, when social media came along, that changed everything, dude. Man, I sold so many paintings through Facebook. It's unreal. It's like I don't even need gallery showings anymore.
So, and the thing is, this comic stuff, I really just fell into it. Because I was all about, just doing my job, going home and working on the house, improving it a little bit, getting ready to sell it, that kind of thing. You were talking about earlier, buying something, fixing it up, selling it, moving on to the next bigger thing. And then some guy hit me up about, hey, because I was wearing a Batman t-shirt. You like comics?
That's how it all started right there.
Yep. I was like, yeah, I guess so. Not really, but I used to read comics every now and then when I was a kid.
Right.
Because, and he found out that I liked comics because, the reason he brought it up was because I was also doing a little side hustle where I was painting windows.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Done that too.
And he was like, when he found out that I had a t-shirt with a Batman thing on it, he was like, do you do like comic artwork stuff? I'm like, no. And then he was like, we should do a book. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah, let's do a book. He was a friend of mine, right? So, he was the security guard where I used to work dedicated for Lowe's.
Right.
So we had all the trucks because I didn't work for Lowe's. I worked for Swift.
Yeah.
Trucking. And we were dedicated in Lowe's. So we had all our trucks there on site. So I would see him all the time, say hi, whatever. His shift started when mine did. He would always check the trucks in. And he was like, yeah, let's do a comic book, a little short one. I said, okay, let's do it. So I hopped online. How to draw a comic book. And I was watching a tutorial on how to draw a comic book. This guy, I think he was called Art by Jazza.
Yep, I know Jazza.
And I was watching a Jazza thing, and then I just left it on, fell asleep, right? And then it just re-scrolled to the next video. Little did I know, I turned it on, and I looked back at my phone, and it was Richard C. Meyer. And I was like, oh, okay, this guy's kind of funny. I liked his stories. He talked about comic books, and I was like, oh, this guy's giving me like the inside track. He knows, like this blew my mind, right? Like he knows of like the people's names that do the comic books.
He's been in the sausage factory.
Yeah, like he's talking about people like, wait a minute, that name sounds familiar. And I looked it up, right? He was talking about some person named Sam Keith. I looked up Sam Keith, and I was like, that name sounds familiar. Oh, I remember this book. I had that book. Okay, that's that guy's name, you know? I never looked at the credits page ever in my life, right? And he was talking about all the people that I actually remembered and liked, and he was talking about his Ethan Van Sciver and this cover that he did for the Flash Rebirth, and I remember that poster in my local comic shop. It was a huge poster, and it was the first time I ever saw what I now know is digital coloring, digital print. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was so vibrant and red and crimson. It was beautiful. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Then he was like, oh, like a couple of months in to watching Zach, he was like, my buddy, Ethan Van Sciver, that artist I was telling you about, he's starting a YouTube channel. And then when I went over to his, he was doing the whole draw alongs at night, you know, and telling you how to do comic books. And I was like, this is fucking gold. And I'm writing all this stuff down on paper.
Yeah, that was the kinder, gentler Ethan.
Yeah. And then when he did his little video on supplies for comic books, you know.
That's the one where I found Ethan.
Okay, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. And I went and I pretty much had everything already because of what I had gleaned from the internet. Except the only thing I bought that he suggested was the lead holder and the that long 18-inch ruler, the red floppy one, the pink one. I bought those two things, and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. And then I was like, you know what? I should do a YouTube channel where I just do drawing stuffs. So I started one. And then Comicsgate happened. And I was like, oh, this is like... And because I was there when it was kind of happening, it was very big, right? To me, in my head and in my heart.
Yeah.
And I was like... Because as I was drawing this comic, I was doing a comic for some guy named... what was his name? Something with a Matt, something with a K. Finished the comic book. It was kind of crummy. I didn't like it. It was called Black Emerald. And,
all right, girl?
I'm good. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Go on. Keep talking.
You holding that token a little too long?
Don't you worry about what I'm doing over here.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Tell her.
But it was a really shitty looking book it was called. It had great detail, but my perspective was crazy off. You know, I was treating it in my head like a comic book instead of the best that I could do. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I didn't have respect for the medium.
Mm-hmm.
But as I started doing it, the book got better and better the further along I went.
You leveled
because
up.
I started to realize that this is going to take everything I got to make it look right.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I finished it and all was well and good. I still have, I think, like 7 of those pages somewhere around here. And it was a short one. It was like a little ash can. I think it was 18 pages in total.
Right.
And after I did that, because that guy that I was going to do a comic book with had fucking dipped out.
Right.
He went and decided to become a trucker. And he
moved in the exact opposite direction from you.
No, I didn't become a security guard.
No, you became a comic book guy.
Yeah, he tried to become a trucker. It didn't work out for him. I think now he's doing security, but he's doing security somewhere because he used to live right next to me, like real close. Mm-hmm. But now he's somewhere over there in like Nevada somewhere. But oh well, good riddance to bad rubbish.
What kind of art were you doing before you decided to jump into comics?
Yeah, window painting. I was a truck driver, Doc. I wasn't doing artwork.
You've always done art. Washman story. So what kind of art were you doing back, you know?
Oh, I was doing painting, mostly drawing, drawing with mixed media.
Right on.
But mainly just, I guess you would call it graphite and ink and other things.
Yeah.
big pictures of things that I saw, things that I liked, places that I liked. There's this park that I hold very near and dear to my heart that right next to me called Fairmount Park. And a lot of my stuff is from Fairmount Park with, what would you call it? Like fanciful additions that don't exist.
Yeah. Took some artistic license with it.
Yeah. A lot of that. But that was just I guess you would call it my fine art stuff. But I also did caricatures.
Mm-hmm.
I was caricatures for a while. Did all kinds of stuff. I did caricatures at parties. And then because I was doing caricatures at parties, they also, my wife was like, at the time she was my girlfriend, she was like, you should do, because I was doing it on the weekends. On Sunday, people have their birthday parties and stuff, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. She was like, you should do face painting too.
Oh,
you should offer face painting. And I was like, yeah, I guess so. There's always a lot of kids at these parties, right? So I was like, yeah. And so I put it up I had a website, book me here, whatever. And I was pretty much every summer, I was booked solid every single weekend.
Right.
And that was making me more money than my work week.
Yes. The side hustle, the art, it's just there. It's meant to be.
Yeah. But it was temporary because as soon as fall hit, things started thinning out and then just nothing at all during the wintertime.
Yep.
So it's not like I could quit my work and do this.
Yeah. It's back to the coal mine. Yeah.
So basically I was running myself ragged during the summertime and then it was only my regular work during the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But I didn't like that. So I stopped doing it. And then the things like that, like when you work freelance artist, whatever you do, if you're not constantly looking for work, it will dry up naturally.
Yes, absolutely. It's so weird that you brought up that Ethan video. All right, so I didn't run across Ethan first. I ran across Doug TenNapel first, and not through Comicsgate. My son had owned the video game Earthworm Jim, right? Mm-hmm. So the TenNapel is not an everyday name, So I remembered that name, and he popped up on my Facebook suggestions, So I'm like, all right, I'll follow this guy. And I was sitting thinking one day, God, I remember when he was starting out, and Earthworm Jim was a brand new thing. And I started remembering, like you just said, Sam Keith and all those people that were starting up in the 90s. And it got me fondly remembering when I did comics in the 90s, when I was working on my degree. And I said, I'm going to look up these other guys, see what they're doing. And that's when I found Ethan's video about going to the store and buying the stuff. So, that was the beginning of this death spiral that brought me into this world.
What's a comic book?
I get you. Okay, you want me to share it with you here?
Sure.
Okay, 1 second. Don't laugh.
I would never
Laughing already.
I would never laugh.
Laugh at me.
That's Well-Red's job.
Where's my stream here? Present. I've never shared this campaign on any stream.
Well, there's a huge audience here watching. All right, Black Emerald.
Matthew Cale, that's his name. Matt Cale and Dillard.
All right.
And it's called Black Emerald.
That's a good
Black
drawing.
Emerald is written by Matthew Cale and drawn by John Dillard. Matthew Cale has been an independent publishing writer for 10 years. John Dillard is the artist, YouTuber from John Dillard Gave Me the System. That was my original YouTube name. I changed it because people were like, this isn't about gaming. So I made it Dillard Draws.
Yeah.
Together they made a story about a young woman accused of being something that she denies, born out of the gothic horror genre with doppelgangers, intolerance, and strict moral codes playing out in a modern setting. $500 goal, $67 total. Look at $67 total. 21 backers. That's all we got. $67.
Good Lord. Do the math on that. 21 into 67 is what?
I don't know. I think it was, what is it? Let's see. What was claimed? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Yeah, like, 0 out of 1 claimed. Nothing got claimed. I think the guy donated money to the campaign.
It's a good drawing, though.
Let's see. So this is some of the things, people hanging outside. Look at how wonky his head is on the body, right?
I've seen wonkier. So have you.
Oh, of course I have. This is some kids looking at the phone. They're like, "Wait a minute, this girl right here. That's this bitch on YouTube showing her tits."
Oh, okay.
And this is her. Look at her walking right here. Oh, it's so bad. Her coming in, she's trying to think. This is her grandma. He was like, make her look grotesque, like she'd be in like a Tales from the Crypt kind of, like she's a big fat ugly woman with like a big ass forehead.
Yeah.
Like she's been using a hot comb her whole life, so her forehead's gigantic, you know. This is her. Oh, that's it. That's all the artwork. But yeah, that was my first comic.
Now, what does it do for you when you see this?
Oh, it hurts.
My son thought it would be a good idea. And bless his heart, this was a thoughtful thing he did. John, he went out and he found one of the comics I did in the 90s at a comic book store, and he bought a copy for me, not realizing that I wanted to throw it in the fireplace.
And him with it.
Some of that art was so terrible. Like, what the fuck? Like, I think one panel per page was probably salvageable. The rest was like, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? Talking about a wonky head.
And then I sent this comic book into Ethan to critique. And he did it on a video.
Did he really?
And he tore it up. I was like, oh God.
Ow. My soul.
He was like, what is this? Like, look at the perspective on this shot right here. This bottom right one.
Yeah.
Golly. Walking into a fucking...
a slide.
She's walking into a fucking German expressionism painting here. I like this one. This top one was okay.
Yeah, that's a good panel.
This is not. I like the kids in this one.
Yeah.
On the left. I don't like this kid's face on the right. I made up this face here on the right side, this kid, the smallest one. I tried to kind of copy it over here. This shit didn't work. And this face came out terrible.
And so I've seen you with, and I won't throw any names, I've seen you with some of our younger artists giving helpful feedback and guidance. That's something that I feel like is desperately needed more of. There's a lot of guys out there that are passionate about doing this that need a little bump, including me. You know, I mean, hell, not every panel can be a winner, but try to do what I can. I mean, I do teach art, but primarily I teach painting. You know, and that is a totally different discipline from doing this stuff.
Thank you, Michael. Michael says, it is a good drawing.
It is.
But the story also wasn't there. I was like, I don't get it. Like, I had to have him explain it to me like a couple times.
What was the story? She was OnlyFans or?
Yeah, basically she had she was one of those split personality people. She didn't even know that she was a whore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not hard to draw. It was hard to draw for me because I was bad at it at the time.
Yeah. The thing that the challenging thing that you run into is consistency with faces. Like, you know, they used to, I know you remember this, John, or you've heard this critique that, you know, every Marvel and DC character, male, looks exactly the same with different hair. You know, they're always the same face and this and the other. So finding a unique presentation of each character that you can stay with consistently is the challenge. Like if you took Captain America and just gave him black hair and put glasses on, it's Clark Kent, you know, Superman, same character. because everybody was drawing the same big lantern jaw, eyes a certain way, nose a certain way. My arrogance was in, I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to sketch these things. And I'm going to go for photorealism in every panel. Boy, was that a stupid idea.
Stupid.
And I'll say the drawings were good, but my inking is something I had to learn how to do on the fly. I wasn't an inker. I never inked anything. I've learned how now. I would say I'm great at it, but I had to learn. This is what you do, right, Carol?
Sure.
Carol learned how to color.
I didn't know nothing about no comics for nothing.
I knew comics.
This is all Dillard's fault.
Yeah. I knew comics in the 70s and a little bit into the 80s. And then I only picked up comics again in the 90s while I was doing them. And then I stopped again. So,
I didn't know you could do comics. I didn't know you could make your own. I didn't know you could color them.
Well, and I was going to say all these other creators, man, it's like they have these huge collections. They know all this trivia and they'll ask me shit about it. And I don't know shit.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know nothing.
I don't know all these things they're talking about. Oh, what did you think about Flash Rebirth? Never read it. Never saw it. Never held it. I don't know.
This is me being in this community. It's all Dillard's fault.
Yeah,
I stopped him from another channel.
I've heard you blame him.
It's his fault.
All right, I'm gonna actually wrap this one up. I got to go cook.
Fine, whatever. Bye.
Carol, I want to thank you for wasting my time.
Sure, anytime.
And just keep in mind, now you got to go to work.
Fuck me.
All right. Yeah, a 2 coffee pot morning, easily. Mike, thanks for hanging out with us, buddy. I appreciate you.
Sorry about that. I had to take a phone call.
No worries. I'm wrapping it up. I got to go cook breakfast. It's time to get up. Our house is
you
at 4 o'clock in the morning.
And the horse you rode in.
I was too a bill for the session.
I'll promptly ignore it. My credit score's trash anyway.
Yeah, same here, Michael. But we get up at 4 every morning, so I got to go cook breakfast. Put the coffee. Oh, I already got the coffee set up. She got to throw the switch. Dylan, thanks for popping in, bud. Appreciate you.
Of course. Why wouldn't you appreciate me?